and welcome to the next episode of Joe Martin Show. Today I'm here with Angel from Red River Valley, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Angel. I'm a guitarist. I'm the singer and songwriter for Red River Valley. And I do music in the style of 70s rock and roll and trying to bring some of that down here to the valley.
So
Yeah.
how did you guys form the band?
Well, I started trying to get this band together since I want to say 2018. So it's been a while. It's been hard trying to find people who can play what I'm trying to do, because it's the scene down here isn't really blues, 70s, rock and roll kind of stuff. It's mostly metal.
It's very split between the alternative and the hardcore scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember a promoter was telling me that she wishes it was more just rock in general.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of missing from our scene right now, and I think it's great that you guys are doing that.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to do this for a long time.
Mhm.
And thankfully I found these two guys who I kind of gave up on getting a band together.
Mhm.
Right? It was in May when they contacted me. It was the same night as my birthday. So I just gave up on getting a band together, and the bass player texted me. He's like, "Hey, you still looking for a band?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
Right? But you know what? Let's do it, right? Let's yeah. Come on, I need a band, right? They came, I think, a few days later. Yeah, they came on, I think, Monday, the week after, and we started playing. We started jamming out, and we're like, okay, this is something,
Yeah.
right? And right now, it's raining. The same thing happened after we finished practicing. A bunch of rain and wind just started coming. I was like, this is crazy. And the second time we got together, the same thing happened. So I was like, what's going on here?
Mhm. Yeah. And so that's how you guys eventually became a band. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. It was kind of crazy.
And how
though.
did you guys come up with the name Red River Valley? Where does that come from?
Believe it or not, I was up north. We were in this RV kind of dealership, right, where they sell RVs. I think I was in Houston, I think. Right, and I was like, I need a good band name. I need a good band name. And one of those signs said red, and then red big red RVs, right?
Yeah.
I was like, what if I named the band the Big Red Band, right? And then my sister was like, that's dumb as shit. And then kind of a few weeks later, I was like, you know what? Let me sit down and everything, and it just came to me, Red River Valley. I was like, oh, that's a good name.
Yeah. It has the RRV because
Yeah.
I know certain comic heroes, they're named their initials for the first and last name's the same.
Yeah.
So, I think Peter Parker. There's a bunch of other I can't remember them, but they all I forgot what it's called when you have the first and last name the same letter. I forgot what it's called. There's a certain thing for it.
I know what you're talking about. I do.
Yeah, so
I
Red
just don't
River, I
know
mean,
what
it's perfect.
it is.
Yeah.
It sounds good. I mean, RRV,
Yeah.
the abbreviation's pretty good.
CCR, yeah.
Yeah. kind of say things. CCR.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of cool, Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so you made the band, you got the band name. When did you guys actually start working on music, getting it together, recording, and then getting gigs? How did all that happen?
Well, the music I did it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I like I told you earlier, I broke my leg in 2019, right before COVID happened.
Yeah.
Right, I broke my leg and I couldn't walk for, I want to say, from October of 2018 all the way to June of 2019.
Oh, damn.
So almost half a year.
Yeah.
Where I was just on crutches and stuff. But all that time I started writing the music and all that stuff and trying to get this to kick off and everything. And since then I've been working hard at it. I did have I did have other band members before these, but they didn't stick around too long because the music is kind of hard, and nobody wants to, not per se do it, but it's just hard. It's a hard type of music.
What makes it difficult, or I guess, or harder?
The what?
What makes it hard or difficult?
I incorporate a lot of weird time changes in it.
Oh, okay, okay.
So like I do a lot of like it'll be nice and like let's say I have one song that's like I want to say it's like 612 in the beginning and then it changes and then it resolved and it comes back in and it's a lot of like going in and out and in and
Mhm.
out kind of thing.
And who inspired that like I guess like that way of playing
Well, like I guess Led Zeppelin is the best one.
Zeppelin?
Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page, Cream, Eric Clapton.
Mm.
You know, they were known just to go off in tangents and come back in, and you know,
Yeah.
well, that's mostly where I got all the guitar playing from. Is Jimmy Page. I
Right.
really sat down and like studied how to like do what he was doing basically.
Hmm.
I mean, I had the time to do it, you know.
And what made you specifically choose that kind of music instead of like something else? Because you had mentioned earlier that you tried to like get into indie music for a bit.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. Like, what was like the journey between between the indies phase and then going to like the 70s rock type stuff or the bluesies rock?
Yeah, well, I kind of started off doing like indie. Well, I wanted to, right? Like I started like kind of doing that kind of music, but I kind of like really soon realized that my voice is not for that.
Yeah.
I have a very high pitched voice, a very like, you know, more older kind of voice kind of thing,
Hmm.
you know, and the playing I just couldn't do it. You know, it didn't come natural to me. So I picked up the blues and I just went with it. You know, that was the most natural thing I could do.
Yeah.
And I do like the 70s a lot, you know. I like the fashion, you know.
Yeah.
I like the just the feeling of it. It was a different time, you know. It was a
Mhm.
time of like, you know, things are gonna get better, you know, right after the war,
Yeah.
you know, in Vietnam and all that. So it's kind of like right now, I guess. Kind of like right
Pretty
now.
much right now. we
Yeah.
just need more of that music that I'm surprised there hasn't been like any anti-war music lately because there's like a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, like different conflicts.
Yeah.
And like back then in the 70s, you know, you had Star Wars that was based off I think the Vietnam War or yeah, I think it was the Vietnam War where basically it was like a small army versus
I think
a
it was
giant
the
empire.
Korean War. I think so, right?
Huh?
I think Star Wars based off of the Korean War.
It's based off like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But like the main story of a small army of an unorganized rebellion versus a giant empire. It was kind of like
Yeah.
the Viet Cong against the US government. So
Yeah.
like you had that stuff going on. You had CCR like making their like anti-war music, which now it gets used ironically now with war music.
Yeah.
But you don't really see that kind of media being created right now. Like you don't see music talking about like the wars that are going on or movies covering that.
Yeah. I
Very
actually
interesting.
did write a song like that.
Hmm.
So maybe I'll put it on later.
Yeah. Because
I did write a song. Yeah.
yeah, because like recently, like I mean, like a while back, there was like some celebrities that were singing "Imagine" when COVID was going on and a bunch of other stuff. I'm kind of like,
That was
No,
bad.
yeah.
That was bad.
no, that's not the way. But like,
That was
or
bad.
or even like in the 2000s or 90s, you had Michael Jackson with "We Are the World." So like,
Yeah.
there's no one like taking up that mantle right now.
Yeah. I wrote a song just, you know, out of kind of like not frustration, but
Yeah,
just because I was like, you know what? It just came to me and I was like, let me write about it. Right.
Mhm.
But I'm not a political guy.
no, yeah. I'm just
Not
wondering like
political
whatever
at all.
happened to like those musicians that just like
Yeah. No,
the
I
hope,
don't know.
or at least like the hope and changed kind of stuff. Because there were people who were like spreading that message as well.
Yeah. Well, that's true. But maybe it's just people are kind of scared.
I think so. Because you can like
But-
really lose your job right now, or like
Yeah.
if you say the wrong, or not even lose your job, just like get on the wrong side with people if you say like the wrong stuff.
Yeah, we're living in a weird time right now.
Yeah,
A weird time where like you say the wrong thing or you do the wrong thing or
well, I wouldn't say
even-
that the wrong thing. I would say the unpopular thing.
Yeah, the unpopular thing. Yeah, exactly.
Because there's certain things that, like, that's why I couldn't be a politician. Because there's certain stuff that's like the right thing to do, but it's just very unpopular and will get you like voted out.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens.
No, yeah. Yeah, we're living in this weird time.
Mhm.
And I don't know what to call this time. It's really weird. It's a weird time.
Yeah. Mm. I don't know what it would be called. I tried thinking about it just because it's very conflicted. Like there's a lot of like tension going on right now, and
Well, I mean,
I would just like hope somebody or something would come out that would just like change everything for the better. But
yeah. I hope too. I hope something, gives, something changes. Because
Mhm.
the way we're going, it's really like real downhill real
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, because I forgot who mentions it or like where it comes from, like where every like 250 years an empire goes down, something like that.
I think it was on Joe Rogan.
I think so. Like it's been mentioned there, and like a bunch of other places where the U.S. is basically coming up on that period where like, hey, we've already
Where
been,
yeah, we're the new Roman Empire
yeah,
basically.
yeah, we're already in collapse. And I
We're on
mean,
the collapse.
yeah, yeah,
But I hope we're not. But
yeah,
it looks like that.
yeah. And that's what that's what like when I think about the 70s, like when you're doing that like bluesy music. I mean, that was part of it. While there was also like the other parts where like you had the hippies, hope
Yeah.
and peace and hope, whatever, and all stuff. And then you also had people just being on drugs,
Yeah, that's the
creating
thing.
music.
Back then, everybody was just on drugs and trying to avoid the reality
Yeah,
of what's
and
happening
I
overseas
wonder
and
like
stuff.
how much influence did the drugs actually have compared to what it doesn't, because there's been artists like I've been a big fan of Aerosmith
Aerosmith, yes.
and Steven Tyler. Like when he went through like rehab and all stuff,
Uh-huh.
he started saying that he believes he was just using drugs as a crutch, that it didn't actually make the music sound better or be better. It was just like a crutch for him. And he mentioned this because he was trying to save Kurt Cobain, because
Uh-huh.
it was during the 90s and he saw what Kurt was going through, and
Yeah.
he tried to help him out, saying like, hey, this isn't worth it. Don't do
Drug
it.
use is horrible.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's horrible.
hmm But some
I
people
don't
say
I
that it
don't
sparks their
yeah.
like creativity, but
I don't think so. I don't really think it does. Or maybe it does. I don't know.
mhm,
But I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't really do anything.
mhm,
And I could just, write music.
yeah.
But maybe I'm just different. Maybe they really do need, something to motivate them to write the music or something.
Yeah, 'cause I think some people are like, I think some creatives just need to be like really crazy. And some people don't like that. And I think like you can't have the good and the bad. Like you gotta have both.
Yeah.
Because there's comedians, musicians who they have very wild lifestyles. I mean, a big one was Chris Farley. I love Chris Farley. Um, he would eat a lot of food. He would do a lot of drugs. He would party, go crazy, and he was a very funny guy. But it was also what caused the end of him, that
Yeah.
he didn't take care of himself, and there's not much he can do afterwards.
That's sad. He was gonna be Shrek, right? In the Shrek movie.
Yeah, yeah, he was supposed to be the original voice.
Just imagine that. It was gonna be Chris Farley and Eddie Murphy on.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like how it turned out.
I mean, yeah, Mike Myers is
Mike Myers is
great,
pretty solid.
honestly.
And they're making the Shrek 5 already.
Shrek 5, yeah, next year. That's awesome, honestly.
So, yeah. Yeah, because I think it's been like 10 years since the last one, or a little bit more.
Yeah, it came out 2010, right? The last one.
I think so.
So it's been like
2010, 22. Yeah.
14 years, I
It's been
think.
a while. Yeah.
14 years, yeah.
And of all the people, and of all the characters to like carry the franchise, it was Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots, yeah.
Like he had his own like spin-offs, and
The last one was really good.
yeah.
The last one was so good.
I know, I was surprised because the first one was like, it was like mid, it was like kind of like mid,
Yeah.
but the second one, I don't know what they did, that they improved it a lot. And
I think they just give them freedom. They're like, just do what you guys think is good.
yeah, and I was surprised because Illuminations and like Universal, they're kind of like, sometimes they're strict, sometimes they're not strict when it comes to like their movies. And so when I saw that, I'm like, okay, this is
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah. Honestly, it was really good. I was like, damn, this came out really, and then the animation style was like really, really good.
That the Spider-Man movies have had like a huge influence over animation.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like it.
Honestly, yeah. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I saw the last one when it came out in theaters. I was like, damn, like this looks good.
Yeah. And I'm glad, because for a while animation just kind of like was kind of stagnant. It was just like common
Yeah.
3D stuff.
Yeah. I mean, what they did with the new Ninja Turtles, that one,
Yeah.
the arts on that one's really good too.
Mhm.
That one's really good too.
And I don't know, like I'm just glad that there's some creativity, because recently, like I feel like everything in between music, video, and video games and movies,
Yeah.
everything has gone to the point where everything needs to be a big budget stuff,
Yeah.
and it's kind of killed off like mid-tier movie, not mid-tier, but like middle budget movies.
They
Because back then you would have movies like, for example, like I was a big fan of like the 90s comedies.
yeah.
Which Tommy Boy, that's a big one. Um, Austin Powers, like there was all these movies that they weren't like super huge flashy movies.
I love Austin
They were
Powers.
just like like they were just like right in the middle of a budget film.
Yeah.
And ever since like superhero movies took off, everything needs to be a big budget. The Ghostbusters, it was like the original one, like it kind of was a big budget, but not really. But these new ones, like they make it this grand stuff that it kind of take to me. It kind of takes away from the story because it was never about the budget or like having this grand stuff. It's just
No, it's not like they're like, oh, like we're gonna do this for the story. It's not really about that.
yeah,
It's about money. Let's be honest. They
Yeah.
want money, so they're gonna sacrifice the creativity side of the thing
mhm,
to get some money.
yeah. It's unfortunate. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. It's what's happening right now.
Like everything needs to be a huge budget. No like in between stuff. The only one who kind of does that is Adam Sandler of all people.
Adam Sandler.
He does like I mean he had Uncut Gems and he had some other movies that he funds his animated films that you know
Yeah,
they're not super expensive and they're okay.
I think people or like I think Hollywood prioritizes like right now is like prioritizing money and politics, I guess,
Yeah.
to like extend their reach more,
Mhm.
and they're really cutting back on the creativity.
Yeah, because everything else that's been coming out recently is just a bunch of sequels,
Yeah,
remakes, prequels, spin-offs. It's really
Yeah.
weird.
they're more about quantity and not quality,
Yeah.
which kind of sucks honestly because there were some really good movies in back in the day.
Mhm.
Well,
I
I
mean-
mean,
Like you won't see like another like Napoleon Dynamite, another Nacho Libre, like those kind of
nah,
comedies. It's just
no, you won't see them now because they're very daring to make back in the day.
yeah.
So now it's like very like don't touch that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, and that, and I remember, I'm not sure it was Matt Damon or some other actor who was mentioning that back in the day when movies would come out, maybe your movie wouldn't do really good on the box office,
Yeah,
but when it would hit video rentals or like DVDs, VHS, it would have a whole new life. So
yeah,
they could be a little bit more risky with maybe not making a lot of money from the theaters, but like the moment it would hit home video, it would do much better.
exactly.
So there was a little bit more money that could be stretched out, but now since everything's either
Streaming.
theaters and streaming, that's it.
Yeah. That's what really killed everything, I guess. Well, I wouldn't say it did, but
It created like a new way of making.
it's kind of
content.
like the same thing with like Spotify and SoundCloud. There's a lot of music being uploaded like every day.
Uh-huh.
So I guess like since everything's become saturated, you know, there's not that incentive of like I'm gonna work hard and make this a really good song or movie or whatever it is you're making.
Yeah, I think what's affecting like music right now is TikTok.
TikTok,
For
yeah.
better and worse, because now like if you want to make like a viral song to like get a lot of hits, certain like snippets of your song has to be like very catchy or
Yeah.
do something that can be used for video content. That way it can go viral.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Nowadays, if you know, you gotta be doing social media if you want to like for it to reach like the bigger audience. And I don't know, my music maybe doesn't have that kind of stuff.
I mean, it could, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mm, the songs do have like catchy intros and all that stuff. I did write them with that in mind. I have to
Yeah.
because like nowadays it's very
'Cause that was a big part of like just 70s and 80s music. You needed a really good riff that
yeah
put people on.
yeah. I've written I've written a bunch of songs already, but for this first album that I'm gonna be recording later on
Uh-huh.
this year and taking out, it's gonna be I think 7 songs. Yeah,
7 songs.
7
Cool.
songs. Yeah, and each song's like between 3 minutes and the longest one is 6 minutes and
Oh shit.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Which that's the one that took me almost I want to say like 4 years to write.
Mhm.
It took me a while to write because I would leave it and I'll come back to it and I'll leave and I'll come back to it. But I remember one night when everybody left the house, like everyone just left.
Yeah.
Right. It was in this place here. Everybody left.
Yeah.
Right. I was alone. I was like, I'm gonna get it done tonight. And I finished the whole song that night. I was like, damn. And then from then I just been now I just do songs like 5-10 minutes. You know, the most I took for a song was probably like a day.
That
Now,
someone there.
so like I'm really like cutting back the return time. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that'll take me a while.
Someone's at the gate. I'm not sure there's somebody you know or not. Yeah, someone's at the gate. The
Yeah,
great car.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
They'll come in right now.
All right.
Yeah, it's not a problem. We're good. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to write catchy songs, I guess,
Mm.
for it to hit. And
Yeah.
I think I did. The riffs are very I guess Led Zeppelin inspired.
Right. Okay.
They're really Led Zeppelin inspired. I also kind of put in like some Joni Mitchell, like
Mhm.
kind of folk stuff in there too. I don't
Right.
know. I kind of like just like blues and like folk and like literally everything about that era. I don't know why. I just like it a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it just reminds me of like a different time, better time, I guess.
I think it's been somewhat popular because there's been these bands I've seen like Cinema Stereo,
Yeah.
Kyle Irving no, not Kyle Irving. It was Kyle something. But like, there's all these bands in Nashville. I don't know why specifically Nashville, but they've been doing like a lot of the '70s style,
Yeah.
and it's been doing pretty well. I see them on TikTok for some reason, but like they're having some kind of traction over there. I don't know what it is about Nashville that's attracting like this new style of like, let's get the '70s rock style, and they have the shades, the
Yeah.
bell bottoms, everything. They have it. The long hair, yeah, the boot.
I got the bell bottoms too.
Yeah, so like I mean, there's been a resurgence in that. Maybe it's because of Greta Van Fleet, like they kind of started that stick where,
Probably, yeah. I mean, I didn't know about Greta Van Fleet until like 2018. So like I had the idea before that. I didn't even know who they were.
yeah,
But then I started hearing them and was like, oh, these guys are really good.
mhm,
You know, like I would love, hopefully, you know, in the future, like play like a show with them or something.
yeah,
You never know. You never know what happened. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I was seeing like, you know, there's a lot of not just in Nashville, but almost everywhere, like California, New York, Georgia, Atlanta's one of them. I see a lot of bands like doing that old 70s like
blues rock, yeah,
blues rock. And most of them are still kind of modern,
mhm,
right? Like they just like take that style and like kind of incorporate it into it.
yeah,
But there are like a few that are like really, really 70s.
mhm,
And that's what that's what I'm trying to do with this band. Like
mhm.
really go really 70s. You know?
Yeah, because most of them they try to like modernize that sound. They had the basic roots of it, and then they make it a little bit more modern.
Yeah.
And I've been to some of the concerts because there was a band called, I believe they're called the Struts, and they're from,
Oh, the Struts.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know they're from the UK, but I
They're
forget
from
which parts.
I think they're from London. I think so.
Yeah,
I think they were that's where they formed and everything.
and
I'm
so
not
like
too
they
sure.
kind of had that like '70s style, but kind of like hipsterish too,
Yeah.
like some kind of mix. And I mean, they kind of sound like Queen, basic a little bit.
Yeah,
The
the
lead
the singer, yeah.
And so,
I
but like,
forgot
and he
his
kind of did
name.
that for a while, but then he changed his style and made it more like modern rock pop
Yeah.
type stuff.
Well, I guess it's because maybe the label, right? The label was like,
Yeah, that too.
come on, buddy.
That's another part where I wonder like how much artists enjoy being independent versus like being independent, but and having the chance of maybe making it like going viral or famous
Yeah.
compared to back then where you had a lesser chance of making it, but you would have a label that would really push you and
Yeah.
you would have a higher chance of making it.
Back then, like, you know, like 60s, 50s, 70s, 80s, even 90s.
Yeah.
As long as you made them money, they leave you alone.
Yeah. But like you had that huge marketing push because everything was so concentrated.
Yeah.
Right now everything's I would say I wouldn't say liberated, but I would say everything's very like
It's-
democratized
Yeah.
to the point where you have to deal with the saturation. Like, so like you have a lot of competition.
Yeah.
But if you're able to make it past that, you're gonna do well.
Oh, my dog came in. Go outside. Go over there.
And so
That's
I think
fine.
like right now that's what bands are gonna deal with, where there's a lot of bands out there, not just in your local scene, but
Yeah.
in nearby cities and other scenes that
Everywhere.
you're no longer competing against the local bands. It's also everybody else.
Yeah.
and not just them, but like you're competing against anything that captures people's attentions. Like that's right now, like that's like the biggest money maker right now. Can you attract people's attention?
Yeah,
Can you hold it? And do people come back?
that's the thing. Yeah.
Because you're also competing against video games, movies, everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, back then it was just what music and movies, right? Those were the two big things.
The entertainment.
And
Yeah.
now it's TikTokers, YouTubers. You know, it's everything.
Everything.
And then it's very hard to not it, I wouldn't say it's hard to get ahead because I think if you have a good plan, a good marketing strategy, I think this is the business side of me coming out.
Yeah.
But like if you have a good marketing strategy, a good like a good networking, all that kind of stuff, I think you have a chance.
I mean, that's the thing. I think it's easy to plan out a strategy. It's another thing committing to it,
Yeah.
constantly uploading content, coming up with new ideas. Because I see bands who they are very successful when it comes to making marketing content,
Yeah.
but they will receive a lot of hate because since they show up a lot of times like on their feeds, whatever.
Yeah.
Some people get annoyed, and I seen like some
That's true.
awful like comments made against those bands.
That's true. I'm not a big social media guy.
Yeah.
I have Instagram, I have TikTok, but I don't upload that much.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to go that route.
What are you trying to accomplish with your band?
The band I'm trying to well, I mean like every other band, we're trying to make it, you know. We're trying to get to that area where like we're playing shows, back to back every week.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hoping to do with this band. And I do understand that you need social media now.
Yeah.
You need all this
It's
stuff.
a must.
It's a must. I know. I understand that. That's why, like, I think last year, me and my friend, who's a filmmaker, we went to school together. Oh, been at high school and all that stuff. We decided to make a film on the band, and like how like basically like what type of like how we're kind of bringing back like 70s stuff and all that kind of stuff. So like I mean that's the route I'm kind of going.
Uh-huh.
Instead of making like little videos and like like where like the bands have to be like guess who the drummer is and
Yeah,
they're like
no, that's stuff. No.
so like I'm trying to go more the professional, not I want to see the professional route, but the more like I guess traditional route,
Yeah.
but still incorporated into social media kind of thing.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Kind of like that. And I post like my song or something, like me playing a little bit here and there, but I'm not like trying to, because like I've seen the other bands and it doesn't look like they're trying to like make their music go off. Like this, it looks like they're trying to like make themselves like like try to get like an influencer, I guess, career or something.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not looking for that kind of
Mhm.
thing. I don't know. I'm just very like I was talking to Adrian from Creative Cave.
Yeah.
Well, I was with them I think 2 weeks ago, right? Where
Mhm.
like the song that I'm taking out, he was helping me like like mix and master and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're very traditional, right? Like in the way you record and everything." I was like, "Yeah, I guess so," because I it was only 8 tracks, right? So just I put 3 mics on the guitar, 1 mic on the bass, and 4 mics on the drums, and 1 on my voice, and that's it, right? And he's like, "You're very traditional and everything you do, right?" It's like he's like, "It's very refreshing because I don't have to work that hard."
Oh.
But I was like, "Yeah, I just like simple, the music doesn't require a lot of recording, a lot of editing, and all that. It's like basically what I play is like that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna like basically like you're playing live.
Yeah.
That's the way like I treat the band. I don't know. I guess it is very 70s. I mean, that's what they did back in the day.
Mhm.
They will stuff them all in a room and be like, "Okay, get a recording," and they'll just start taking out track after track, and they'll finish in a night.
Yeah.
Like 8-10 songs in a night. It's
That-
crazy.
I think that probably costs less compared to like taking the typical route.
Yeah.
Because recording music, from what I've seen, it could get very expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. I didn't record with him there
Mhm.
because it is expensive. But I have like, thank God, I have a little home studio in Orlando. So that's where like I recorded everything. Right, I did the guitars, the drums, everything for this first song. Right, I did it before I had the band.
Mm,
So I recorded it in April, I want to say
bro.
April, and then they contacted me in May to join me, and I was like, okay, good. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. And so how has that process been so far? Like, how far away are you like from releasing the new songs or?
I actually finished today everything. So like I'm gonna send it out to Adrian. I think either tonight or tomorrow. He's gonna master it, and then I'll probably take it out in August.
August.
I'll take it out in August, probably before the show, or somewhere around there.
Mm,
So in August, yeah. It wasn't my first choice to like the first song. Like it wasn't my choice of song to take out
yeah.
because I had another one that was, in my opinion, I guess a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a slide song, like with a slide and everything.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But that same night that I sent him the tracks, that one got deleted. I don't know why. It just got deleted.
Yeah.
I was like, they're all night trying to recover it, and I recovered it, but it sounded horrible. Like it got like what's the word? I don't know what happened to it, but like it would play and then play and then
Oh, okay.
and I was like, oh no. Like I worked literally like hours and shit, and it just went away.
Do you at least like have the song like written down to like redo it again or? Okay.
No, yeah. I recorded that song once before.
Oh, okay.
So like I already have it recorded, and but I wasn't like he wasn't like refix it up. I guess make it more
Yeah.
polished. I guess.
Yeah.
Not too polished, but like enough where like it's like okay, the voice sits better in the mix now,
Mhm.
kind of thing. But it got erased, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was like I was like
Yeah. So like that's like when they teach you like a computer class, like make sure you always back up all your files because you never know when
yeah.
something might go wrong.
And the crazy thing, it wasn't on an SD card, so I was like,
Oh.
how did the SD card get like corrupted or what?
Like yeah, they could get corrupted. I had to like replace my SD card from my camera because after a while, like after so much news,
Yeah.
I think it like stops becoming writable. So you can only read the card, but you can't like delete or make new data on it. So it's
Maybe that's what happened
it's
to mine.
freaking yeah.
Because it was a headache. I was up all night, like I was like probably like 1 and 2 in the morning, just trying to fix it, and I couldn't. It was
Yeah,
unsavable.
that's all you can do.
But it's all right. The song taking out is actually pretty good.
Hmm.
I'll show it to you later after this.
Cool.
It's actually pretty good. Yeah. It was a process, honestly. It took me a while. It took me I want to say like a whole month just to record everything by myself.
Hmm.
It's crazy. It's really hard being on your on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like with the album, are you trying to like is every song just like a song it's in itself, or like some people do like themes on it, or they tell like an overarching story, or what's up like what's the album like?
The way I wrote the songs, they kind of intertwine, like they kind of like follow each other,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I wouldn't say a theme, but they I've noticed a pattern in the way I write.
Hmm.
It's like it's very like I want to say not poetry, but like it's very folky or something.
Hmm.
The way I write the songs, but they kind of just like from like one song goes to another, and they like kind of like go into it like really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was kind of surprised of how like I was able to manage for them to like kind of like go into each other
Mhm.
and like follow each other. I mean that's what they did back in the day too.
Yeah.
The songs would like literally just like follow each other.
And so what kind of like stuff do you like write about in your songs? Like what's
Um, the first one I wrote, it's I guess it's longing. I guess
Mhm.
that song's like about longing, like trying to get away.
yeah.
Because I was, I couldn't walk.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk for nothing. So I guess, yeah, most of the songs are either not they're not sad songs. They're more like this is a bad time, but it's gonna get better,
yeah.
kind of thing. I don't know. It's kind of like, the lyrics. They do make sense, but they kind of don't sometimes. But it's okay.
What do you mean by that?
Well, like the first song, the lyrics go, long time ago, I was told what it means to be alone. Oh, mellow is the man who forgets what he's been shown. Time I kept on rolling along. Oh, gotta make my way through the hole.
Mhm.
You know, like it's like nonsense, but it has a meaning, I guess, to it.
Yeah, I know. I've seen some artists that they write songs that they somewhat make sense but don't really.
Yeah.
'Cause I seen that happen, and I mean, it's style.
I mean, they're catchy. It's catchy.
Yeah,
You know, it's yeah. The lyrics are okay. They're. I don't spend too much time on the lyrics. I guess that's why.
what do you mainly focus on then?
On like the instruments, like I want the instruments to like
Maybe
really
something-
sound the best. But I do take time on the lyrics too. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
But not as much time as it on the instruments. I guess
Yeah,
mostly the drums. That's where I really sit down and I'm like, okay,
so you sound
let me
good, yeah.
try to get it the best I can.
Mhm.
You know.
And who would you like I guess compare your sound to? Because I know you mentioned like Led Zeppelin being an influence, but does it sound exactly like them, or how would you like consider the sound? Because I mean, when it came to like Green Athlete, like they got ripped apart because they really do sound like them.
Yeah.
They're not trying to like say we got inspired by them, but or doing something different. Like how would you consider yourself, like your sound? Like where would it stand?
I would say Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I do take a lot of not away, but I take a lot of from them
Yeah.
because it's just it's just what I like.
Mhm.
It's the easiest for me to write, I guess, even though it's a complicated way of writing,
Yeah.
but it's good and it's good for me. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm just weird, and they always tell me like it's like they always tell me it's like you sound like Zeppelin, Allman Brothers, and Pink Floyd, like
Okay. I'll
Kinda
mix it
like-
there.
like this, like together.
Okay.
And I was like, I'll take it.
No,
You know?
yeah, like as long as it's not like a complete copy. Like for me, I mean personally, like as long as the band doesn't completely sound like A band or B band,
Yeah.
it's okay. Like if they mix it in and have their own style to it, it's fine.
No, I I do get like the riffs I make on the guitar
Yeah,
are reminiscent of that, but I try to like kind of also put like I guess like southern rock vibe into it or something. I don't
Mhm.
know. I just like more blues. I guess is a thing.
hmm
Yeah,
Can you show like an example? Like I'm not sure if you can actually play an example or not. Can you?
I could play for you if you want.
Yeah, like, just like an example of like what you mean. Like
Yeah. Let me just put the mic here.
yeah, I'm pretty sure the mic will pick it up.
Yeah, I should pick it up. I'll play the first song that I did.
Yeah.
The long time ago, told what it means to be alone. Mellow is the man who forgets what he's been shown. Time I kept on running along, gotta make my way through the hole.
Yeah, you can really tell like it has that influence.
So like it is Led Zeppelin. I guess.
Yeah. I think that's what's with the mushroom motif, because I've seen it in your posters.
Oh,
There's a mushroom right there.
yeah.
What does that the mushroom motif come from?
Don't I just like it. That's just the best I can say.
Mm-hmm.
I just like it. I guess Almond Brothers. I guess is the best thing I could say. I
Mhm.
really do like the Almond Brothers a lot.
What about them do you like a lot? Like
I love Dwayne Allman's slide, like the way he just plays a slide guitar.
mhm.
It's like like it's just like I don't know. I just love it so much.
Where did you discover all these bands? Because typically now it's considered like dad rock is not
Yeah.
the 80s anymore. It's actually the 2000s.
Yeah,
And so like the 70s is a whole different style where most people now like they're influenced by like MCR or like these 2000 bands, 90s
Yeah.
bands. how did you get into like the whole 70s thing? Like who introduced you to that kind of music, or how did you find it?
I would say my friend Artie. My friend Artie, he's the one helping me make the film. He was like, "Have you listened to Led Zeppelin?" I was like, "No, no, never, never heard of
Yeah.
them." Right? I was, I think, 18, I think, and I was like, "Let me hear them," you know. And I've always listened to ACDC, you know, for a long
Yeah.
time, and also the Rolling Stones. But then once I got into Led Zeppelin, I was like, "There's, you know, there's more than just this," you know.
Yeah.
And this is what, like, this, the moment I heard, I was like, this is, you know, this is me, you know, like, this is what, like, I like, you know.
Mhm.
And then I just started getting into Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, CCR, Aerosmith, The Who, Allman Brothers, you know, basically all the bands you would think of from the
70s, yeah.
60s and 70s. That's what I listen to the most. And a lot of people don't understand why. Like, I just like it, you know. It just speaks to me. I don't know
Mhm.
why.
You never like thought about like why like it has such a huge influence on you, or no?
I don't know why. When I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of that 70s show.
Mhm.
And my favorite movie was Daisy Confused.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that's why.
Mhm.
And I was also always moving around a lot when I was a little kid. I would and like, not to like big cities, but like really small towns. So maybe I just picked up, you know, whatever everyone else was doing then. And I just kind of just like, I guess, nostalgia.
Yeah.
I kind of just like feel safe there. I don't know. I feel good there, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know.
'Cause I always wonder like when a musician like starts making your own style, like something had to like resonate, like certain chords,
Yeah.
certain styles. Like obviously, there's a reason why you become attached to certain like styles of music. So
Yeah.
I always find that interesting.
And don't get me wrong, I like newer stuff too.
Hmm.
I like the other day I was listening to MGK, what's that song they have, and I don't know, I don't remember what the song was called, but I was into them the other day. I was into Gorillas, I ain't happy, but I
Yeah.
ain't glad, you know, I got sunshine, you know. And I was like, you know, like, I do like modern music,
Yeah.
but for some weird reason,
The 70s stuff.
the 70s is like where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I like newer songs, but I don't like playing them.
Okay, I get you.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Like, I feel like this is like where I can like do something,
Mhm.
you know? Because I really can't do anything in the modern sense of stuff.
Yeah, because that's how I feel like when it comes to like mainstream music, a lot of my stuff is like from the 80s, 90s, some 2000s.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to like the modern music I listen to, like I know it's completely niche just because all of the modern music I listen to is just like local bands
Yeah.
or like underground bands. So like if my friends like ever ask me like, who am I listening to? I'm like, if I see bands like Shirley Temple or Archer O, like they're from California. They're
Yeah.
bands that I work with, they're bands I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Most people be like, who's that? And so to me, like, okay, so like, I have to like explain the story, like, hey, these guys are from Southern California. They do like surf rock, indie music.
Yeah.
They mix it up.
The drummer who played with me in January,
Uh-huh.
I think you know him. His name is Frank. He's the drummer or the bass player. I'm not too sure. For Bummer Trash.
Okay, but yeah.
Yeah, and he has like this side project called The Headlights,
Okay.
right? And I listened to his song. It's really, really good.
Mhm.
I was like, Frank, you need to take this song out. You know, like, it's really good.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, man, like, this is actually pretty good. You know, and that's, people don't understand. They think because I'm making 70s music that I don't like
Yeah.
everything else, but I do. I really do like everything else.
Mhm.
Like, whether it be, like modern rock, or
I
sometimes
couldn't name any like who are like the current modern rock bands. Like I don't know who they are. Like
I wouldn't be able to tell you either. I
because
guess
I know
modern
like
rock for
some of the
me-
popular bands right now that people like really listen to, like Pierce the Veil, MCR. They come from like the 2000s. Or
yeah, that's where like
so, like I'm not sure like who's the 2020s, who's the 2010s rock bands.
yeah. No, like modern rock, I guess for me is like what you're saying, like Pierce the Veil, like
Yeah,
2000,
the
like
2000s.
that's what like I perceive it as modern rock. Because like if you were to tell me name 10 artists today, right now, and there was a gun to my head,
Yeah.
I'll be dead.
And
Yeah.
I think part of the reason why is just that rock music isn't as popular as it was like before.
No, it's
Like right now,
not.
like the charts is mostly like R&B, rap,
Yeah,
pop, country. I mean, even like I think right now country's doing pretty well. Like it's
yeah,
a lot of like pop artists want to do country music. So like
yeah. That's the thing. Like it's country, but it's not right. Like
Yeah.
it's like country pop,
yeah,
right? Like there's no more like Willie Jennings, you know, the Willie Nelsons, you know. There's those guys are kind of phased out,
yeah.
right? I mean, he's still touring and everything, but they're not as prevalent, as
Mhm.
popular as they were.
I mean, some of them, yeah,
But it's kind of sad, honestly,
yeah.
because they make some really good music.
But I think some of them are some of the like yeah, it's very few of them that are like really held on. Because I know George Strait recently, like he did like the biggest concert in
yeah,
U.S. history. Like it was like completely packed out. And
yeah. I mean, the Rolling Stones, they're like almost 80 years old.
they are.
And
I think actually they are.
They are, and they're literally on tour right now. You know what I mean? Like people do like that music,
Yeah.
but I feel
So one issue I think I have with like some rock bands, I think there's such a huge nostalgia like bait to it where
yeah,
people keep looking like when it comes to rock, people keep looking into the past.
yeah,
They keep like copying the past, but they don't try to make something completely refreshing, something new.
yeah,
Compared to like let's say rap. Yes, they do like sample old music, but they make it into something new.
yeah,
And they're not afraid to experiment and do new stuff, which kind of kills rock in some ways because if a band like completely experiments their sound, people are like, oh well, this doesn't sound like with the music that I listened to back then,
yeah.
and that kind of like holds rock back in some ways. That's my opinion. At least.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. It's very true.
Because like right now, like if you say if you tell a kid like do you listen to rap? Yeah, they'll name you modern artists that are in that genre.
Yeah,
But if you tell a kid right now like hey, or like an alternative, whether they listen to like alternative rock or whatever, they're gonna name bands from back then, not like right now.
yeah, that's true. That is true. Rock, sadly, is in the sidelines right now,
Yeah,
right? But I do see a lot of like up and coming bands that are like what I'm trying to do,
Mhm.
right? What I'm doing, and they're just like popping out of nowhere. And there's like a bunch of people like who want that kind of thing.
yeah,
So like I think it is kind of gone, but it's kind of become what rap was when it started.
yeah.
I guess
It's restarting.
that's the
There are
best way I
certain
can
like
explain
modern
it.
rock bands that I've seen. I know there's a band called The Warning. They're from Mexico. It's a
Yeah.
all female band.
Yeah,
They're doing pretty good. A couple like I think like 2 years ago, I went to see Ghost in Corpus,
Uh-huh.
and they were playing with Mastodon and
Mhm.
Spirit Box. I think that's what they're called. And like these, like they're like there's certain modern rock bands that are succeeding, but it just takes a while to really
Yeah.
get like into the mainstream.
yeah. I don't know. I think because rap is a little bit like a solo thing,
Yeah,
so I think it's a little bit not faster, I would say, but a little bit more less time consuming.
yeah, because they do like work with different producers and also so like it gets like that part of the music area kind of easier, I guess, or it makes it easier. You don't
Yeah,
have to deal with like I know some bands like they kind of deal like with like infighting between what
I want to do
what to do with the
this, I
band,
want to do
yeah.
that, and this and that, right? And I mean that comes with everything, you know. Everything is like that. And back in the day, it was the same thing. You
Yeah.
know? Same thing. The Beatles, CCR.
that's why like all these bands they just break up or
Yeah.
the Rolling Stones surprisingly have kept their lineup pretty much intact.
Yeah. I don't know how they're doing it, but yeah. I mean, they did kick out
Yeah,
the original like founder
yeah,
of
yeah.
the band. They just like
But like overall, like compared to like the majority of bands, like and I know like who was it? It wasn't. It was the one who played Freebird. Forgot their name right now.
Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, like their lineups like completely like it has changed like throughout the years. 'cause
Yeah.
there's been death involved. There's been like
Yeah.
people used to being kicked out and like
Well, Kiss is another one.
yeah,
Kiss is like the main one where like they just keep on changing everybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
That or I know Guns N' Roses went through that too. They kind of brought people back,
Yeah.
but then like Axl Rose doesn't sing as good as he did before,
That's true.
and that's why it kind of sucks where certain bands like they reunite, but way too late,
Yeah.
and so like they're not at their peak anymore. They're kind of just
Kind of like I think a good example of that is like the Black Crows, I think.
yeah. So,
Like, you know, they're brothers and they would always be fighting and they kind of just broke it off for a long time.
mhm.
And they came back, I think 2020, right? But it's kind of like it's not too late, but it's kind of like, you know, it kind of died down, I guess.
And there's certain bands that are still fighting. Like I know recently there was a battle between the Hall Notes.
Yeah.
One of them is suing the other. I forget who's suing who, but like you guys are like it's kind of to me it's kind of like you guys are no longer relevant. I hate saying that, but like they're not relevant.
Yeah.
Why are you guys like still fighting over stuff that happened like in the 80s? Like I don't know. It's
I don't know. Drama cells, man. I think that's the best way to put it. Drama cells, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to like I don't know, trying just to get this to be something, you know.
Yeah.
You know. I understand that like down here the scene isn't really what I'm doing,
Yeah.
right?
Not only that, but it's very hard for you guys because the valley's so far away from the rest of Texas.
Yeah.
So like if you were to like want to play like for example, you're in the Texas Triangle, you're in Austin, Houston, Dallas, whatever.
Yeah.
You're able to like play around there, but over here it's kind of like we're 4 hours away from San Antonio.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wanted to play in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping we are because like there's this theater on the Riverwalk,
Yeah.
right? And you can rent it out for I think like $500. So I was gonna like invest into that and like, you know, like do a show there on the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do it. I want to do it, you know, and I'm gonna like, you know, because like down here like there's places to play,
Yeah.
but I haven't gone out yet, you know, like performed with like other bands just yet to see how people would like it. But
You
I've
should
shown
do
this,
that. You should really do the open mics. I think that would be like the best shot at it.
yeah,
I mean, there's the Gremlin, there's the Flying Walrus.
yeah,
They're like the usual spots because it's downtown McAllen.
yeah. I've been wanting to do the Flying Walrus.
Yeah.
I got in contact with the owner there and like see what we can do and all that stuff. And I really want to do that. But I do understand like down here, like even the bass player tells me it's like we don't want to play down here that much
Yeah.
because I mean the music here is you know it's more metal,
Yeah.
right? More punk and more that kind of stuff. And like I have shown the song that I'm doing right now to like a lot of people,
Mhm.
right? A lot of people are like, this is really good, you know, like this would be good, like to have more bands like this down here. And I think people will like, you know, like react to it pretty good.
Yeah. It's just a matter of getting it out there to
Yeah.
listen to.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to play the 25th and then we're going to play, I think Art in the Stars at 707
Yeah.
the week after that one.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so we're going to be playing there also. Yeah. And, I don't know. I think people are going to like it. I hope they like it,
Mhm.
you know, but I have good hopes for it. You know, we did get invited, not invited just yet, but talks of playing in Nashville
Yeah.
at a record label party. So maybe that would happen, you know.
It's
Yeah.
how did that happen?
I literally the guy posted on Instagram like we're looking for bands to perform at our next, you know, party.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just commented and he saw it and he was like, I'm gonna put you into consideration. I was like, okay,
Hey, it's a start.
it's a start.
Yeah, because like I think a lot of bands, their goal should be to play outside the valley. Because I love the music scene here in the valley, but like to continue growing, you need to like eventually get gigs out of the valley.
Yeah.
San Antonio, Corpus, Houston, Dallas, everywhere. Like
Yeah.
just get out there.
Yeah, that's my plan. Like I see a lot of bands out here who have like a lot of potential.
Mhm.
Like really a lot of potential. But they don't want to get out of here. I
I
think,
think it's because it's difficult. I think maybe some don't, but I think it's also like you need connections.
I think
'cause-
so.
I know there's promoters out there like in other parts of the country
Yeah.
or state, even here in the valley, that they're not trustworthy. But like they can like rip off these bands, especially like in your tour. Like if you do the Texas run, you're going to San Antonio, Houston, Austin, whatever, and
Awesome.
if they
Yeah.
rip you off, like good luck trying to get to the next city.
Yeah, that's true. No, yeah, it's true. That's true.
And that's what I find like being in the band. Like I find it really scary. Like if you want to go for it long term, like you need to be careful. You need to look out for yourself. Look out
Yeah.
for your bandmates.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's good.
No, that's true. Yeah. And no, that's honestly really true. Because there are people out there who just want to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
They
Like
see,
I know there's venues out here that they don't.
Yeah.
They say they're gonna pay you and they're not.
yeah, they just see they see you and they're like, I can make some money off of that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I play my songs to a lot of people, right? Just so I can get
Yeah.
out there, get some connections. Because I mean, you have to, you know. And I see their eyes, just they sparkle every time they hear my songs, right? And I've it's been a lot of time, but that happens where like I really catch on and I'm like, okay, this guy just wants to, take advantage of this,
Yeah.
right? Like I've seen it multiple times where people are just like they hear the music that I'm making and their eyes just like, it's I don't know, it's a very cutthroat industry.
It's a very cutthroat.
So like
thing.
if you don't have not what it takes, but like the mentality of like, like of like a really strong mentality, I guess is
Yeah.
the best thing to say.
You're not gonna last too long.
You're not gonna last very long.
And I experienced it like first time being a promoter. Like there's certain like agents I have dealt with that like no matter like how like if you try to be the nice guy, say like, hey, I want to work out a deal with a band, be fair with them, be fair with yourself. Some of these agents they will be like, no, you give them an inch, they'll take a yard.
That's true.
And I get it. Like I know there's shitty promoters out there that try to rip off bands, but like I know I'm not that way. Like I'm a good person.
Yeah.
The bands who work with me know I'm a good person, and that I'll like take care of them basically.
Yeah.
And so like it sucks for the good promoters, I guess, because an agent has to be like look out for the band, obviously, like it's their clients.
Yeah.
But it puts pressure on the wrong. Sometimes it can put pressure on the wrong people in the wrong way, and like I sometimes like they try to be professional,
Yeah.
or maybe or maybe I'm just giving them like the what do you call it? The benefit of the doubt, but like
Yeah.
they can come off as like assholes.
Yeah.
So like I mean I don't know like no matter what part of the music industry, whether you be a band, whether you be an agent, a promoter, like
Manager.
it's
anything.
it's cutthroat.
It's cutthroat. It's really cutthroat.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that kind of grit to you, then
Yeah.
I wouldn't like if you're like if I were to tell anybody like if you want to do this, right? Be
Yeah.
prepared to push back, a lot. Right? Cuz like it's a lot of, shady people, a lot of people who just want to make a quick buck out of you.
Yeah.
And you gotta stand your ground, basically is what I could say.
Yeah. Because I know there's some bands like I see their attitudes and like they're very nice people,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you're lucky. Like there's people here that care about you. Because
Yeah.
if it was anywhere else, like they would take advantage of those people,
No, yeah.
and it wouldn't end well.
Yeah, I've seen people are really super nice.
Yeah.
They're very trusting, right? And they just mess them up. And don't get me wrong, I'm really nice. I'm a really nice guy. Like
Yeah.
I try to be as nice as I possibly can. But if you're gonna like come at me, like I'm gonna but maybe just because of when I was a kid, I was like I grew up in a very not harsh environment, but a hard environment.
Yeah.
I grew up around a lot of fighting, a lot of arguments, a lot of this. So like very early on, I understood that I had to defend myself.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can't like there's a time to be nice and a time to be
You put your foot down, basically.
yeah, exactly. Like there's a time to be, like not mean, but just like strong.
Firm, basically.
Yeah. Because and a lot of like musicians that are like starting like coming in, they don't understand that, right? They think like, oh, everyone's my friend, everyone's gonna,
Yeah.
but
Like,
it's not really that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And I kind of like had to learn that the hard way because there's certain people I work with, and I do everything like I try to like help them out. Like, okay, here's a venue. This is my recommendation. Do this, this, and this, and they'll do it, but like never mention me, like thank me,
Yeah.
and like I'm not sure like it was just an ego thing on my part where I want that like recognition.
Yeah.
I try to battle between that or like hey like, or is it just them being assholes like hey, they're not giving me like the recognition like hey like he helped us out.
No, the credit. Yeah, the
Yeah,
credit
yeah,
that you
like the credit
deserve.
where it's due. So
Yeah.
sometimes I have to battle between that myself because um I do crave I guess credit and recognition. Like I know what I'm trying to do. Like
Yeah.
in this world, like as the creator, like again, as a YouTuber or whatever you want to call me.
Yeah.
Our the way to make money is through attention,
Yeah.
recognition. So like the more you
Yes,
get of it,
too.
the better it is off. And
Yeah.
again, you have to be very very careful because some people become very egotistical.
Yeah.
Where if you don't recognize them, they'll get mad. And I see that where certain people have a main character syndrome, and they think they're above everybody else. You know, they're a popular band, they're a popular promoter, or whatever they are, popular person.
Yeah.
It's a very slippery slope between keeping being humble
Yeah.
and just going crazy with attention because when it comes to like for example social media, you want your post to keep doing better and better.
Yeah.
But if you're constantly just looking at your notifications, trying to get like what it called validation off of social media,
Yeah.
it's gonna kill you mentally in the long term.
Yeah. It really it messes you up, and I'm grateful that I don't really like social media.
Yeah,
Like I post and everything, but I just post it. I leave it alone,
yeah,
and I'm like, it's good enough. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. But I do understand. Like, there is a lot of people who just like and honestly, we're in the business of we have to get attention,
yeah.
right? And
People
like,
have to like show up to your shows, or otherwise, yeah,
Yeah. and like like how you're saying, it's a really like slippery slope
yeah,
that like like how much attention can you do you want until you are satisfied,
And the
right?
other thing is, you just can't become satisfied. Because this is the other part. The other part is that if you're not constantly doing something to get people's attention,
Yeah.
you're gonna be forgotten about.
Yeah.
Like it's happening with social media where there's this band that I wanted to work with. They're a local band.
Uh-huh.
I thought they broke up or like they were no longer active because on social media they haven't posted since March.
Uh-huh.
They don't post nothing on their stories. So the natural thought is like, okay, they're no longer active.
Yeah.
But it turns out they're just working on music.
Yeah.
And so like if you don't tell people like, hey, we're in hiatus, we're gonna work on music, people are just gonna forget about you.
That's the truth. Yeah. I mean, that's how I am.
Yeah.
I don't post for a while. And when I do, they're like, what? Like,
yeah.
but I'm trying very hard to get in that groove of posting, right? Because it's needed, right? It's needed, but I don't like it very much.
No, yeah. And I mean, I think it's actually healthier that you're not addicted to social media because I am. Like I have constant brain rots. I'm constantly on TikTok just seeing like what's trending, what's
Yeah.
going on. Just yesterday, my sister and I were on TikTok,
Uh-huh.
and there's this specific channel or whatever you want to call it, Instagram, that they have a game where you check you can check like the slides of the pictures,
Uh-huh.
and one of them is guess the movie based on a zoomed in picture of the poster.
Okay.
Another one was guess the movie based on the synopsis, which is the summary of the film.
Yeah.
Me and my sister were getting so many of them correct that I realized, like, hey, I think we've been watching too many movies that we could have like done so much like more productive stuff. And
No,
here we
no,
are
yeah.
watching a bunch of movies and TV shows.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. There was like a period where like 2 or 3 days I'm like that.
Yeah,
Right? I'm like, I'm gonna watch some movies and just like watch movies, but most of the time I'm working on this
yeah.
because it's very time consuming.
No, yeah. And it's a great thing that you guys find ways to be productive with your time because some people are not. I'm guilty of that. Like sometimes I don't want to do anything. I'm just like, no, I don't
Yeah.
care about this anymore. Like, not that I don't care about it, but I just don't want to be like dealing with it.
Yeah.
And there those times where like I had like that fire, where like, oh no, we need to do this, this, and this. Let's get it going and start working on content.
Yeah. And I'm very weird in that way of like um like my mom per se, right? Like yesterday I was mixing the song, right?
Yeah,
Literally the whole day. Right? If she doesn't tell me, hey, stop, right, take a break, then I won't. I'm very not stubborn, but I don't know when to stop,
yeah,
basically, when it comes to all this stuff. I just go and go and go until I can't anymore,
yeah.
which is not healthy either.
No, like you can burn out easily like that.
Yeah, I don't. That's not healthy for me. But like yesterday, like example, like I sent you the thumbnail that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know that I was gonna do for you, right? And literally like I finished like mixing, and then I got on that one like right away. Like I'm crazy.
Yeah. And I think that's, in some ways, I think it's kind of good, just because I think I want to be more productive. I guess to say it's a good thing because I want to be more productive myself.
Yeah,
Like I admire people who wake up 6 a.m, they're working out, they go to work
yeah,
at 7 or 8, they come out, they have everything worked out.
yeah. No,
So-
no, I'm not like that. I'm not like, oh, schedule. No, I'm just like
Yeah.
I'm doing this and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna finish it,
Yeah,
and that's about it.
just the productivity in general. Like I wish I
Yeah.
had more of that, because sometimes I just slack off and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this.
No, it's
Even though like I
understandable.
know it needs to be done.
Yeah,
I guess it's that procrastination that sometimes happens.
yeah,
But other times, but like once something like it needs to be done, it's like, okay, no, like I just lock in, I do what has to be done, and go
yeah.
from there.
I wasn't always like that. Like I used to be a big procrastinator,
Yeah,
like a horrible procrastinator. Like I would turn in assignments late, like dead, like last minute, and But then I guess I kind of changed the way I thought when I broke my leg
oh, okay,
and during
yeah.
COVID, I guess, where like I was like, this thing isn't it's not. I'm not, I don't have the time that I think I have,
Yeah,
right? Like I'm, like this isn't permanent, right?
yeah, no.
So like I don't know, like since then I just been on like a grind, I guess, like just trying and like getting and getting and getting and getting, which is weird, but
No, I think it makes sense. I mean, sometimes you just need a good scare in life, and
yeah,
you start realizing, like, you know what, we're not gonna have all the time in the like, time's very finite.
yeah,
You're never gonna get the time you had back then back, and you
yeah,
gotta do what you gotta do. And I feel similar because a couple of months ago, one of my classmates passed away from high school,
uh-huh,
and I was kind of like, oh shit, like we can just die at any moment. Like really, like
yeah,
me driving over here, me driving back. At any point, something can just happen, whether it be physically or just like something out of your control. So like, might as well do what you want to do right now while you have the time,
yeah,
and you're in the condition, because sometimes you can just like lose control of your body.
exactly,
Like I see that with Michael J. Fox, where I see like him and Back to the Future,
yeah.
doing all this crazy stuff.
I
and
was
then-
watching it earlier today, honestly. Yeah,
yeah, and then he was performing with Coldplay, and I'm like, it's sad that like Parkinson's like took a lot of his ability to
yeah.
really be yourself.
That's that's the thing. A lot of people think that like I've seen it with a lot of people. A lot of my family members, I've seen it
Yeah,
where they're like, "Oh, we have time. There's time." Like why are you stressing out so much?
yeah,
Why are you doing this so much? I was like, but then I go back to like when my knee was broken and I couldn't walk for 6 months,
Mhm.
and I'm like, no, I gotta go.
yeah. What if you break your other leg and
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, there's like this I've like I'm saying, like a lot of people think that we're not immortal. We have more time than we actually have.
yeah,
Like tomorrow isn't promised. We don't know what's gonna happen tonight, in an hour, in a minute. You know what I mean? Like it's just life is it's precious,
yeah.
but it's also vulnerable. A lot of people don't seem to understand that.
I think for me, I think it's just because like most of the people I talk with are like younger people, so like they really do have that time. But
Yeah,
once you start like reaching like your 30s, 40s, 50s,
yeah,
that's when like, okay, at first the ride was just going up, but now it's gonna start diving down pretty soon.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still young. I'm 25.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why a lot of people are like, why do you think that way?
No,
If
but
you're
like
so
still, like,
young.
cause like let's say you want to have a musical career, it's
Yeah.
gonna take a couple of years for you to like
Get there.
get that going.
Yeah.
And that's if you do, because again, when you're in a creative field, it's a leap of faith. You know, there's no
Yeah.
like set in stone path or career.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a doctor, you know, you go to medical school, you do your residency, you do
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff, and
But-
eventually
but-
become a doctor.
But even then, like even though like that's why like a lot of people tell me is like, you know, like this is not like, you know, like it's very wishy-washy what you're doing. I
Yeah,
was like, I understand. I know what I'm getting myself into,
yeah,
you know? But then I would tell him, like, you know, like there's some guy out there who's like 40, right? They give their whole life to a company,
Mhm.
right? Or to a hospital or to something, right? And they're like, then they get fired, right? And no one, you know, like they're not, no one cares,
yeah,
right? You know, like they work their whole life and then they just get like some, like a few bucks, right?
yeah,
And no one really cares that much, which is very sad.
yeah. But there is a difference as well.
Yeah.
If you're a rock star, or not a rock star, but like you're making music for a while, and then like they say you become, you know, you're no longer popular anymore, and like you kind of fall off.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to return to that spotlight.
Yeah.
If you're a doctor, you get fired. You can go to another hospital. You can open your own clinic.
That's true.
There is more stability in this traditional jobs
No,
that
no,
you
for
won't
sure. For
find
sure.
in the creative arts. But there's also something very different in creative arts where it's you're doing something you really enjoy,
Yeah.
and even if it's not as stable as a traditional career,
Yeah.
there's a
And
lot of stuff that comes with it that's just very different that you cannot experience in a traditional job.
That's true. That is true. Because I used to work in the refineries. So I used to work up north
Yeah,
and then I broke my leg, so I couldn't go back anymore. Right. But even there, it's not like it's very you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow
yeah,
kind of thing. No, but I understand that. So that's why like I know a lot of musicians don't have like plans beyond music,
yeah,
but like you know, God willing and everything goes good with the music and the band and everything, I'm gonna use this to like start off other stuff too.
yeah.
I had a plan of also starting my own record label.
I've seen some bands do that where they're getting very crafty when it comes to being a business person.
Yeah.
I think Taylor Swift was like a big example where yes, she's famous for her music, but like you have your own business, you can have your own colognes, perfumes.
Yeah.
You can use different aspects of your musical career to fund it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm really grateful that I understand that like you could do more stuff
Yeah,
using the music.
and you have to. Yeah,
And you have to. You know, like my thought process is like, you know, if everything goes good, like I say, was like try to get sponsorships, you know, by Epiphone, Ludwig, you know, all these like big instrument brands, and also like collaborate with since like I like 70s a lot, right?
Mhm.
Like my thing is like it'll be nice to collaborate with like Levi's or something,
Mhm.
right? To like take out like a line of like RRV, you know, like for the band or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And a lot of people don't like that I'm that I'm like that, right? Where like I think about like, the music, but then I also think about like the business,
yeah.
right? And a lot of people don't like that I'm like that because they're like, oh, this guy wants to
Sell out.
sell out.
Yeah,
But I'm like, no, like I'm just
I
trying.
think people need to realize that music has always been this way. Even back to like in the times like Mozart and all stuff, like you had rich families sponsoring musicians.
Yeah,
You either had rich families, you had the church, you had governments that would put on these performances and they would pay the musicians. Like
yeah,
you need people with deep pockets to fund this. Like
fund it.
even now, like that, like even back then, like you have labels who they would invest all their money into like helping you out.
yeah,
It's just a part of the music business. You need
yeah.
deep pockets to help fund your projects.
No, yeah, yeah. And I also had I had the idea of not a ranch, but kind of like a like animal sanctuary kind of thing.
Why that?
Huh?
Why that?
I don't know. I like nature a lot. You know, I I don't know why. I don't know. Like some like my sister tells me you're too caring,
Yeah.
right? Like a few years before, I had these two little pit bull dogs,
Yeah.
right? And they got sick with pyro.
Oh, okay.
And every night, like at 1 a.m, I would go and give them medicine. And I literally like like nurse them back to health, I guess.
yeah.
I don't know. Like I like I am a very strong-willed person,
Mhm.
but I also tend to care a lot for people.
Yeah.
I don't know. My sister told me like you're too caring. He let people walk all over you,
Yeah.
and I'm like, sometimes I do.
No,
I do.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
I do. Sometimes I do. I do let it happen, but it doesn't bother me, right? Because like I'm doing something out of my heart. Like I'm not trying to get anything out of it. It just happens, and it just is what it is.
No, yeah, it makes sense. I see people like that where they're too caring, too trusting. They care way too much about what people think,
Yeah.
and you cannot live a happy life being that way.
No.
Because I had a friend who I understand like his situation that he can't like fully be himself because of like his family
Yeah.
and but like even in life like he lets other people dictate what he should do. And I'm just
That's
kind of like you're not gonna live a good life like that, and he knows that, but like he's such a people pleaser that he just does it.
that's the one thing I'm not. I'm not a people pleaser,
Yeah.
but I am caring. But I'm not a people pleaser. Like I don't really care what anybody thinks of me.
Okay.
I don't care what I'm doing. Like what people think I'm doing or this and that. Like I don't really care. Like that's one thing I don't care.
Mhm.
But like let's say if like a family member or somebody needs my help, I tend to go way more than I should.
Yeah.
But I think maybe because it's family, maybe that's why. But other people that have like no business, with me,
Yeah.
then I don't really care too much.
I think I was guilty of that in terms of being a people pleaser because when I first started the podcast,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, like what is the scene thing about me? What about this? What about that? And then I started realizing that there was people who I tried to be nice to everybody, be kind,
Yeah.
and there were certain people who didn't like me regardless of me like caring about certain stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Like, what's the point of even caring about what people think about what I say, what I don't say, how I express myself? It's kind of like, you know what? It's pointless just worrying about it. You shouldn't worry about stuff that you can't change, and just worry about the stuff that you can.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
that's why I say all the time. You're never gonna please everybody.
yeah,
You're not going to.
yeah,
It's just is what it is.
yeah. And part of the reason why I had that is just that I work with so many people,
Mhm.
and it was getting to the point where I knew certain people, certain vendors don't like each other, certain bands don't like each other, and I'm friends with a lot of people, or at least just like equating with them. And I'm kind of like, I don't want to be in the middle of this. I don't care. Like you guys do whatever you guys want to do, but like don't
Yeah.
get me involved with this.
No. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's like I just I try to be kind to everybody. I try to very hard. It's not that I'm not kind. I think I'm just too kind sometimes,
Yeah,
and I try to just be kind to everybody. But there are instances where I have to push back a little bit because some people are just like you can't get through them.
yeah,
And it's very hard. Like there's like I have family members who are like that.
yeah.
Like I cannot get through them for the life of me.
What do you mean? Like, how do you like try to get to like? You gave an example of what do you mean?
Um, like there's some where I'm not gonna say names or anything,
No.
but they tend to not understand how the world works,
Oh, okay.
right? Like they have like this misconception of how do I say this? Like okay. So
I know you're trying to avoid like talking about politics, and you're trying to
Yeah.
find a way to. I know what you're trying to do.
yeah, you caught me. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
No. Like they tend to not how do I say this?
You can talk about the issues just without mentioning names, like the way
Oh,
you
it's
view the
okay.
world.
No, like they just don't know how to like navigate the world, I guess is the word.
Okay.
Like they have a lot of they butt heads with a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I try to talk to them and like explain to them like, like why you like this, or
Mm-hmm.
or why you're doing this. You know what I mean? Like my cousin the other day, I was helping him. Well, he was getting some of the wood that's back there where like it's all messed up back there.
Yeah.
We're taking some wood to some other guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy didn't want us getting on the grass or for some reason, right? And my cousin's like, he's younger than me. He's 17 years old,
yeah.
right? So he has that mentality of like of a kid, and I mean I do too sometimes, right? But like the guy just didn't want to like let us get on the grass to put the wood closer to the trailer,
Yeah.
right? And like the whole time my cousin was like, don't say anything, don't say nothing and this and that.
Mhm.
I was like you got like this guy, like it doesn't make any sense for us to like be like 50 feet away from the trailer
Yeah.
when we can just get on the grass and get like right there. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I worked at Home Depot, so like I would see very stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I would
Like-
see guys who they would have like these very nice trucks, and like when you're loading wood, it was like don't scratch the truck, don't scratch like the not the like the outer shell of the truck, but
Yeah,
rather
but like the bed.
the bed itself.
Yeah.
And they're very like, and there would be like other contractors who would be there, and like they'd be like laughing at them, saying like, "Why do you have a truck? Why are you doing this kind of work? Like if you if you're like basically they're called like pavement princesses, these trucks."
Yeah.
They're like, why are you doing this kind of line of work if you're gonna be like super like, oh no, don't scratch my truck, don't mess it up. Like
Yeah, that's what I understand here.
like I get it, like if you're borrowing someone's truck because then you don't want to mess it up, but like if it's your truck, you're loading up
That's-
cement,
yeah.
lumber, metal, and a bunch of other stuff.
My
Some things
truck
gonna get scratched, some things gonna
my truck, it's like the same year as this one.
yeah,
The bed is scratched to hell.
yeah,
But it's because we used it.
yeah.
You know,
And some
that's
of these
what
car-
that's what a
yeah.
truck is for. It's to
Exactly.
be used.
Yeah, so some of the contractors tell me like as soon as the guy leaves, like I don't know why like he's like that, like just throw it in there.
Yeah. But I guess some people are attached to like their things, and they don't want to get I guess sometimes people put emotions to their possessions,
Subject, yeah,
and they don't want it to get messed up or something. But I'm not like that. Like my guitar, like look, like it's all like
yeah.
you know, in the back, it's all like
But it shows that like you're using it like it's
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And a lot of people look at it and they're like, "Why use your guitar like that?" I was like, it looks. I mean, I've worn it in
yeah,
and it looks good to me. You know, like I don't have a problem with it. A lot of people they want to keep their guitars
pristine. Yeah,
pristine, clean, don't touch it. You know,
yeah,
and you're like, well, when are you gonna use it? You know,
yeah.
like you know,
That's the issue I have with certain people when it comes to like collectors who buy toys.
yeah.
There's this obsession like no, keep it in original packaging. I'm like kind of like
I was actually gonna.
I have this hatred of. I mean, I feel bad. For, like I know some people are gonna like not like it, but I don't like
Who
adults
cares?
who are like they don't play with toys. Like the point of a toy is to be played with. Like at
Yeah,
some point,
it's
there's
to use
kids
it.
who want to buy toys,
Yeah,
and I have this. I hate this weird trend where like the Disney adults. That's what they get called.
yes, I know.
Where-
Yeah.
There's adults who are making the hobbies of playing with toys so expensive for kids
Yeah.
because again adults have more money so they can
Yeah,
Throw it
they
everywhere.
can spend whatever
and
they
kids
want,
can't like they can't spend so much money so
and then
they get priced out of their own hobbies.
yeah, and then the same people who are doing that have kids themselves,
Yeah,
and then they don't even let them touch the things.
exactly.
You're like, what?
Yeah, and there was a comedian Tim Dillon who was talking about that where a lot of adults are becoming like children, and then a lot of children are becoming like adults where a lot of adults are like they get like sucked in with nostalgia, so like you know they're playing video games at a much longer age.
Yeah,
They get into like toys, the Funko Pops,
yeah.
and then you have again this is gonna get political, but like you have kids
Yeah.
like the kids' issues on politics is about like becoming transgender and
yeah,
all these like adult topics.
yeah,
It's like they had to like choose all these adult
Topics, yeah.
choices, while adults are acting like kids.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons of that is social media,
Yeah.
because little kids are exposed to things much sooner
Yeah.
than what we used to be.
Yeah. And again, it's not even just like transgender, but also like when it comes to drugs, sex,
Anything.
everything. Like they're getting exposed to so much stuff just because of social media.
I have cousins who are like freshmen in high school
Yeah.
and they're raping and stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, like what's the point of this, right?
Yeah.
And like I don't understand them, but it is social media and as a part in it, where it accelerates their growth
Yeah.
mentally. I think a little bit, because like I grew up in a time where there was no social media,
Mhm.
right? Like the only thing that there was Facebook,
Yeah.
right? And nobody really. I was a little kid. No one used it.
Yeah.
I would literally every day after school, I would go to the corner of our neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'll get all my friends, right? And we would play basketball for 5 hours straight every day.
Yeah.
And I would do that up until my senior year,
Mhm.
right? Because even 2016, like social media wasn't that big yet, and especially since I was in a small town, right?
Yeah.
Like in Orlando,
It makes more
Bonito.
sense just to like hang out together.
Yeah, like we were still living in that kind of age of like from back then, I guess.
Yeah, because usually like rural areas they tend to adopt technology a little bit later in life or
Yeah,
later compared to like cities. So you'll have like traditions that are common in small towns compared to like
Yeah.
bigger cities. Yeah.
and a lot of my teachers there were also they were like in their 50s, 60s. There was like one or two that were young,
Yeah.
but I guess maybe that's why I'm the way I am. I get a lot of my thinking from that, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Because there was a TikTok I saw like a while back. It was about a kid like he was speaking Spanish, but
Uh-huh.
he was speaking like older Mexican speak
Uh-huh.
because he was raised by his grandparents.
Yeah.
And so kind of like, oh shit, like this is kind of weird, like the way they speak, and it does affect you. I mean, your environment. Because again, I also had a friend, or he's actually my god brother.
Mhm.
He was mostly raised by his grandparents.
Yeah.
So the way he dresses, the way he acts, it's very, very mature compared to like his classmates. So whenever I was like the dichotomy, was kind of like, oh shit, this
That's
is-
the way I was too, yeah. Like I was like cuz like okay, like when I was like 5, maybe like around 6,
Mhm.
I used to live in McAllen.
Okay.
Right? In this little small like little ranch house, right? It was 2 bedrooms. It was 10 people in it.
yeah,
It was very Mexican 1800s.
yeah, yeah,
The most I could do, the best I could say, right? And maybe that's why I also and this was like late 90s or 2000s, right? Like we didn't have AC in the house. We had an air con in one room, and the toilet was outside,
yeah,
or or it was like a little small one in the bath, right? And we didn't have like hot water or anything. So like maybe all that shaped the way
yeah.
I am, I guess. I'm very old style in a lot of ways,
Mhm.
and I mean a lot of people that I meet, even older people than me, they're like like you're very
Yeah.
you're like an old man.
Yeah, people say like you have a old soul, whatever.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's just that. I think that's happened to a lot of '90s kids and like early 2000 kids. Is that we grew up in a time where it was a traditional period between, like, again, I'm not sure if I'm a millennial, like a very young millennial, or an old Gen Z, because
Yeah.
I'm in that traditional period where I saw VHS, DVDs, and Blu-rays.
I still go to
Streaming-
Blockbuster every Friday
Yeah,
to go get VHS and put them in there,
yeah,
right?
and so like, and I know I'm not completely like I know I'm like older compared to the music scene, but like I understand the references that they talk about.
Yeah.
But I also understand like way older people like in their 30s and 40s. Like I understand their references. Like I'm right in between, and part of it is just because like you don't want to get to the point where like you're completely out of touch.
Yeah. Well, I don't really mind that much.
I
Like,
do it just because I see people who are like a generation older than me, like they're like in their mid 30s or early 40s,
yeah,
and I see them use certain slang that was popular like in the 2000 like early 2010s.
yeah,
Like people were like some guy was saying or some girl actually, she was saying like, oh, like that's really ratchet, and like that's something
ratchet.
that was used way back
Oh,
then
that takes me back.
in the 2000s, like
Oh yeah,
2010s. No one's using that anymore.
the Vine era.
Yeah, like the Vine era, like they're using words from that period. I'm like, don't be saying that. Like it completely ages you, and
Yeah, I
I guess
use
I'm sure it's the fear of aging or the fact that time's just passing by. It's kind of like, oh shit, like it's
yeah.
serious. You know?
I don't use a lot of like the slang from today.
Yeah,
I don't use it at all.
and I think it's also like just being cringy in a way. I don't like that. Like I'm okay making mistakes, like social, like missing social cues and all stuff, but like when
Yeah,
it comes to like using stuff that's no longer relevant, like that kind of slang is kind of like no,
yeah.
I don't want to be doing that.
I don't use slang that much.
Yeah,
I don't really use it. I don't know why. Maybe I don't resonate with it. Maybe that's
yeah,
why. I do I say cool a lot.
yeah.
I say cool. I used to say cool beans a lot too.
Okay,
I don't know why. I just used to say it.
yeah.
But and I use the word like no, I mean that's about it. I don't really use slang,
I use
which is
slang
weird.
sparingly just because like you kind of like I work with a lot of young people, so
Hmm.
I'm a substitute teacher. I pick it up from them.
Yeah.
I work with the music scene, so like some of them are like in their early 20s, mid 20s.
Yeah.
Some of them are super young, some of them are 18, whatever. Like you just naturally pick it up.
Yeah, it's just like, you're around it.
Yeah, you're around it. So like I can use it,
Yeah.
but I try to like not use too much of it just because like if I start using slang that's like already dated, it's kind of like, oh no,
Yeah.
I guess it.
I don't use slang, but um my friend does though.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing cuz like we're the same age, right? And he uses a lot of like Gen Z slang.
Mhm.
Like I'm like on the older side of Gen Z,
Yeah.
but I don't use it, which is weird. But he does.
Yeah.
So like I'm like, is it because like he's around I guess younger people
Yeah.
more than me, or what is it like?
That on social media, you'll
That-
see a lot of slang on it too.
That too. Maybe because I don't do social. I have social media, but I'm not on it like
Yeah.
24/7.
And sometimes I do mess around with it because about a month ago,
Uh-huh.
Malcolm came down from Iowa and he brought his kids.
Uh-huh.
And like they're 14, 15.
Yeah.
So like I would mess around with them. It's like, oh, like one of them was messing around, and I purposely like new slang out of date. Like I told him like, oh, like that's not very skibbity of you to be doing.
Yeah. I've
And
heard
he would
that one a lot.
and he just looked at me like we discussed like
what's that
what
about
are you
that
saying?
skibbity toilet thing?
skibbity toilet.
What's that? I've heard that a lot.
So skibbity toilet was just like YouTube series or whatever. Like it's just completely like brain rot material. Like it's
Oh, okay.
it makes no sense. But every generation has that. Like I don't like when like generations that are like millennials, older millennials, attacking Gen Z just because millennials were always complaining about boomers taking shit on them about their stuff.
I mean, they still do.
Because when millennials were like more younger, like
Yeah.
every young generation takes over the internet.
Yeah.
When millennials were like popular, when they were like the thing in the internet,
Yeah.
they had something called YouTube poops, which are like these weird edits. So like with YouTube videos,
Uh huh.
makes no sense. It's funny, but like that was just the internet humor of the time.
Yeah. Like I guess when I was a little kid, because like when I was a little kid, YouTube was coming out.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I would watch a lot of like weird like videos.
Hmm.
Like there were like a bunch of like most of them were animations of like older cartoons.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you saw the one of Dragon Ball Z where they're Mexican
Oh, okay, no,
and
that's
like mírame pelón, and they're like their hair's like
yeah,
like,
yeah,
like they're like forming to like fucking like super dragon like Super Saiyan or whatever.
yeah.
And like look at my pelón, you can't form my pelón. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the?
And so
And
like
it's
every
like real
generation,
weird.
like every generation has their own like version of internet brain rot where it's just stupid stuff. They get it, you don't get it. Too bad.
Yeah.
But like, don't be like attacking them for it. Like again,
Yeah.
like when I start skipping toilet stuff, I'm like, this is stupid. But I'm pretty sure there's stuff I saw when I was a teen.
Yeah.
That was stupid, and it just happens.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't like I understand like my generation like the what's going on, but I don't partake in it.
Yeah.
But I'm not like what's wrong with you? I don't I don't care,
Yeah.
right? Two, it's just whatever.
To me, the reason why I do care is just because, even though like it's stupid stuff, like it's still creative work that pushes the boundaries of humor
Yeah.
and what can be funny, what can exist. So like, I mean, I don't know. Like I'm for it. Like I just create stupid stuff because it pushes the boundaries of what can be.
Yeah, like one person I do watch like every time they upload is Meat Canyon.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why, but I watch it. I don't know why.
yeah. No, that's more adult oriented. Than
I guess it is, right?
some of the stuff that's
Maybe I'm just out of touch.
no, it is like it's appropriately like for 20-year-olds and up.
Yeah,
It's like some of the stuff like really fucked up.
yeah, I think so.
And I mean, it's fine. I mean, for me, like I was a big fan of like right now, like the really big popular shows, Smiling Friends.
Yes, the bass player and the drummer were talking about it the other day, and I was like, what's that? And then I saw some clips of it, and I was like, oh, this is kind of funny.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I was a big fan. I've been a big fan of one of the creators. His name's Zach Handel or Hindle, but like his YouTube name was Psychic Pebbles.
Uh-huh.
I've been like a fan of him since like way back in like the early 2010s. So like I understand that guy's been trying to like get a show on Adult Swim for the longest time.
Yeah,
Back then, there was some show called Hellbenders, but he lost out to the show called Mr. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles is a really fucked up show. I don't recommend people watch it.
Is that the one from
With
Rick
the
and Morty?
dog?
No.
Huh?
Is that the one from Rick and Morty?
Mr. Pick. No. That's Pickle Rick.
Oh, Pickle Rick. Yes.
Mr. Pickles is an Adult Swim show
Uh-huh.
about a demonic dog, and it's like really fucked up because like the dog's like tries like it's like really sexualized, but like
Uh-huh.
also really violent.
Oh,
It's really
okay.
stupid. But during this time period of Adult Swim, there's a lot of shows based about hell.
Yeah.
So when he tried to pitch the show, they're like, hey, like, you know, we already have too many shows about hell and demonic stuff, so
Yeah.
we can't do it. So it wasn't like until like another 10 years when Smiling Friends got pitched and we actually,
Yeah, because I remember like we were talking about like 2010s where like that era.
yeah,
I don't know if you remember, there was this show called I think it was called Super Joe
yeah.
or something. That one was fucked up. I remember watching that as a little kid and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What am I watching?
Yeah, so like that happened, and eventually, 10 years later, he finally got Smiling Friends on Adult Swim. So
Yeah.
like, I find that inspirational, but like, it's humor that started off way before, and now it's
Yeah.
becoming more popular, and it's overtaking like Rick and Morty. Like Rick and Morty's not as popular anymore, partly
No.
because of what happened with the voice actor. I forgot his name.
He-
Justin Roiland, I think his name, Justin Roiland.
Yeah, I heard about
Part
that.
of
It
that,
was,
and then just the
um,
show's like it's been going on for so long, so like naturally it just loses
Yeah.
attention.
How long has it been on? It's been on since 26
like 16, 15, somewhere around that.
2015, right? Because I remember when it came out, I was I think it was like my first semester of senior year
Yeah.
when it came out, and everybody was like, "Have you seen Rick and Morty? Have you seen Rick and Morty?" And I was like, "What the fuck is Rick and Morty?" And I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool."
Yeah.
And I watched until season 3, and then after that, I didn't watch anymore.
Yeah, I think around season 2 or 3, it just kind of like fell off for me because
Yeah.
I think it was like I'm not a too big fan of like the nihilism of it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
nothing matters. We can just go to the universe, and
Yeah.
so, like that kind of messaging. It doesn't resonate with me. I'm like, you know what? I don't like this.
Yeah.
That's why when it comes to Smiling Friends, like I kind of enjoy it because at the base of it, it's about blue collars workers trying to navigate life, and there's crazy situations that happen, and they
Yeah.
try to make people smile. So like it's more positive.
Yeah.
And they even had an episode called with the Frowning Friends where their job is to like make people smile. These people are like to make people like nihilistic
Oh, okay.
and just be sad about everything, be sad about everything in the world. But at the end of the episode, the boss from Smiling Friends gets like so pissed off that he's losing customers. He brings the gun and tries to like to shoot them. And the thing is, they get scared because they say like, "Oh, nothing in the world matters. Life's it doesn't matter. Whatever."
Yeah.
Like that's the nihilistic viewpoint.
Yeah.
Viewpoint. So when he
I
brings
don't
the
like that
gun,
viewpoint.
tries to shoot them, they get scared and they literally piss themselves.
Yeah,
And so it basically like the entire crowd that was like supporting them,
yeah,
they like, why did he get scared? Like what's
yeah,
and
and
people
it,
say, like,
and,
no,
and,
like
and
the
it
world doesn't matter.
disproves that whole thing.
That yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. Where like
Yeah.
I've met people like that. Where like they're like, why even do this? Why even do that?
Mm.
And I don't understand why they're like that.
Mm.
I don't like that worldview.
I understand because some people have like tough lives and it makes sense. I mean, some people, I had some friends who, they had very tough childhoods.
Yeah,
Everything that could go wrong went wrong.
yeah.
They still persevere, but it affects, I guess, their mentality and they're not all there.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
But at the same time, like, I also gone through similar situations, like I got through physical abuse, like when I was a child, through my parents, my family, well,
Yeah.
mostly my dad. He wasn't really a great guy, but like,
Yeah,
it never got to the point where like I had to say, no, the world's not fair. I don't like the world. I hate everybody. Like, I never got to the point. It was always,
yeah,
how do I put through this, and how do how things are gonna
Yeah.
get better eventually.
yeah. How
And
do
they
I get out of this?
Yeah,
How
And
can I
so-
make this a positive?
yeah. And so, like,
Yeah, like my life too. Like, I don't like talking about it that much, but my childhood was a good childhood,
yeah,
right? But sometimes there were ups and downs, and
yeah,
just stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah. And it affects. I mean,
And I don't like to talk about that.
no. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm becoming a bit more open. Before I would like
Yeah,
stray away from these topics, but to me, it's just like I want to be more genuine as a person. Like when it comes to being a creator, because again,
yeah,
the show does have my name. It is
yeah. It's
Well,
your
part
it's
of my
your
name, whatever.
it's your show. It's your brand.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So like it makes more sense just to be more genuine about like the situations I got through in life.
Yeah,
Because before I would hide about everything. Like I wouldn't talk
Yeah.
about certain topics just because you kind of don't want people to look at you in the wrong way. Because if you start saying certain stuff, like let's say you have cancer, for example, people are gonna be like, "Oh, that person has cancer. I feel bad for that person."
yeah,
Their perception of you as a person changes. Like, "Oh, you're not just a victim."
yeah. They like
It's a lot of pity,
they
you
throw
know?
pity on you,
Yeah,
and I don't like pity.
yeah.
I don't know why.
And
I
then,
don't
like
like
for
it.
me, like it's kind of like, you know what? I had a good childhood again, like most people, whatever. But like there were still parts of it.
Yeah,
But I just don't let it affect my worldview. I don't let what happened to me as a kid affect me as an adult. Like yes, it can, but I don't let it define me.
no, I'm like that also. Like,
yeah. And so I've
like
seen
my-
friends where it's the opposite, where they
yeah,
let it affect their entire worldview and everything about them. And again, sometimes it's
Yeah.
unavoidable. Psychological stuff does happen.
yeah.
But
Well, that's true. That's true.
yeah, but I don't like just. You don't have to become nihilistic.
No, I was never like that. I was, a lot of people see me, right, and they think like, oh, this guy's super happy all the time and all
Yeah.
that, and I am. But there has been some dark times,
Mhm.
these past few years in my life,
Yeah.
right? And but I maybe because of the way I grew up, I kind of just say, okay, that was that, and let's keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And sometimes you just have to. I mean, I had friends who they would just they would go through stuff in life, and at some point they wanted to like end their lives.
Yeah.
But like to me, like I find that scary. Like I wouldn't want to die.
No.
So like I'm not brave enough for suicide.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Because once you get
understand.
to that point, like I mean, you're really committed to the bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole process just to find out like, okay, what way do I want to take this?
Yeah.
How way? Like I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's the tough part about life, where there's so much that can go right and wrong.
Yeah.
You just have to hope that you have a good like mentality in life,
Yeah.
because everything about like your mind affects everything. Like the situations you go through life. Obviously, it's tough,
Yeah.
but it also somehow like it funds your creativity and all that stuff. Because there's always been this thing with comedians where some like the ones of the best comedians like tend to
Yeah.
they tend to have like the most like fucked up life in general, and
I
they make it
didn't.
work.
Yeah, I didn't have the worst life,
Yeah.
but it was kind of hard
Yeah.
sometimes.
You have to, again, to be like a really good creative, I think you have to be a little bit fucked up.
Yeah, I
You
think
can't be
so.
completely normal, because if you're a completely normal person,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a normal like life. You're gonna take the normal route.
Yeah.
You have to be somewhat crazy, something wrong with you, where you're okay with the idea of, hey, I want to be a musician, comedian, or whatever. I want to be a creative.
Yeah.
It might not work out. Who knows? It might, or whatever. Who
Yeah.
knows what might happen? But you still take that leap of faith.
Yeah. I think you do, like you're saying, you do have to be a little crazy
Yeah.
to want to do something like this.
No. Yeah, because overall, it makes no sense. Like when it comes to the financials, you're gonna invest hundreds of thousands of dollars into buying instruments,
No,
your
tell me,
amps,
tell me about it, man.
putting all this investment in time, and maybe you're gonna get a couple of gigs. You get paid maybe $100 for
Yeah.
your band. You split up between 4 people. It's $25 each for a gig.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get like some drink tickets.
Yeah.
Maybe again.
And maybe you'll hit it off, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes, I don't know. I like the past year,
Yeah.
the past 2 years, I was in a really bad place mentally,
Mhm.
right? Really bad place. Where I was very I wasn't nihilistic, but I was very what's the word? It's eluding me. Negative.
Yeah, they do.
I was very negative, right? Like, why am I not getting where I want to get? Why is nothing happening for me? Why is this and that? But then I realized, like, it's not that it's me,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm the one in the way, right? Like, I had to change my mentality of, of things not going right or things not this and that, right? Not going my way.
Mhm.
And I think once you understand that and you start changing it
Yeah.
and you start saying, you know what? No, this is gonna work out.
Yeah.
This is gonna happen. I'm gonna get this done. And that's when things start to
They
change,
start changing. Yeah.
right? Because like a year ago, I couldn't get the show in West Local.
Mhm.
I couldn't get the show in 707. I couldn't even get a, interview with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like none of those things were possible back then. But then I just changed my mindset and I was like, if I really care about this thing, right, then I'm going to give it my all and I'm going to stop complaining and I have to just roll with the punches and let's go.
Yeah.
Right? Like I stopped being negative and just started being positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people are be like, well, but that doesn't work for me. Right? And like, I understand that. I was
they
in
would
that
say like,
place.
oh, I'm not a nihilist, or I'm not a negative person. I'm a realist, and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
like you're
whatever.
you're a realist. Like no, like I don't know. I don't believe in that. Like sometimes you have to be a little delusional.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know?
you have to be somewhat crazy. Like I was mentioning earlier. Again, like let's say like you buy all your equipment, you invest all your time building your musical skills.
Yeah,
Now it comes to getting gigs.
yeah.
Some of your gigs, they'll do well.
To do well,
Other
yeah.
times you're gonna get like 5 people and that's it.
Like people, yeah,
And you may not even get paid for your gigs, and
yeah,
you already have invested all this money in your instruments and stuff. So I mean,
yeah.
Good
It's a gamble.
yeah, it's a gamble. But again, if it pays off, it pays off really well.
Like how I said, like it's a gamble. But I think if a lot of people don't okay, if you don't work hard on it, because
Yeah.
this is like people don't like to say it, but this is a business.
Yeah,
This is a business. So like if like how like in any business, if you don't take care of that business, it's like these plants right now, right? Like the
Yeah.
rain's falling down and they're getting like nutrients, right? So like if you don't like take care of that plant, of that business, it's just gonna die.
yeah,
Like that's why people don't understand. They think like, oh, I'm gonna play gigs and like
or around, and that's it.
and tour around and like if they call me, that's good, right? That's what I'm for. But I'm on the other side of that where like I need to contact this guy, I need to
Yeah.
contact that guy, I need to contact this guy. Like how many emails I sent out a day? I sent out so many emails
Mhm.
to get a bunch of no's and this and that until
Yeah.
somebody says yes, right? But you have to be delusional.
That's just life.
That's life.
Yeah, because when it comes to all of this, it's the numbers games. No one's gonna ask how many times you got rejected. No one's gonna like, let's say a fan base. No one's
Yeah.
gonna see how many times you got like rejected or
Yeah.
got ghosted. People are
Yeah.
only gonna see how many times you got accepted to a gig or a sponsorship or anything like that. People are only gonna see the success.
Yeah.
Now, unless you really fuck up, then they'll see your failures. But overall, they're not gonna see all these rejections.
Yeah. They're never gonna see that.
Yeah,
And that's why I think I started doing that film. Like we have a lot filmed already, and I'm still filming because I'm doing that show now, and then another show, and then we're probably going to San Antonio, and then probably Nashville, right? So like, I want to show people what it's really like, right? Like the struggle,
yeah,
what it's like to have that day of like, I spent all this money, I spent all this time,
yeah,
and I'm in this hole, and how do I get out of it?
yeah. And I
But
think, and I like that because it's realistic to the situation.
yeah, and I think that's how I am. I like to show what it means to like what I'm doing, because like you said, a lot of people they only see the success once you get successful,
Yeah,
right? They don't see all the
and no one wants to show their failures either. That's the other
No.
issue.
and I maybe I'm just crazy, but I like to do to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe because I understand that maybe it makes me more relatable to a point, and I don't know. I just like to tell people like this is what I did to get here.
Yeah.
You know, I
No,
don't know.
yeah, it's really authentic
Yeah,
because again, then I can help somebody else who's thinking about like becoming a musician. They won't just see like the glitz and glamour. They'll see like the reality behind the scenes. That
yeah,
hey, yes, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna go out and play in different cities, but this could also happen.
yeah,
Watch out for this.
yeah. We've been turning the lights. No, but yeah, a lot of people don't see that side of all this stuff.
Yeah, because like I mean, I go through that myself. Where as a promoter, obviously I want to get as many bands as I can down here to the valley.
Yeah,
And sometimes I'll message bands and you either get ghosted. Or I got ghosted. Sometimes like it seems like something's gonna happen.
yeah,
That for whatever reason communication just shuts off.
yeah,
Sometimes you're not dealing with the band, you'll deal with their agents.
yeah.
That's like, oh,
that's the
so
thing,
who
too.
have you worked with? What venues have you worked with?
Yeah,
You'll answer everything and then the communication just ends.
yeah,
But people will only see me. They will only see the end results, which is okay. The band said yes, the deal went through. This is the date when they're coming down.
and we did the
People
show.
will only see, they only see like, okay, he's bringing bands down, so obviously he's been successful. But like, I have received a lot of no's
Yeah,
explicitly, being like sometimes not explicitly, just where the communication just ends,
yeah,
or sometimes you get stuff going for the show, it happens, but they don't give you the credit.
yeah. That's true.
It's happened to me at least like once or twice, where like I helped out like the venue and the band like set up the show,
Yeah,
get everything running, and then when it keeps like working with me, they're kind of like, oh well, nope,
he was a volunteer.
yeah, you just volunteered. I'm kind of like
and you're like, man, I put this thing all together.
exactly, and it's happened, and so like that makes me disappointed. But like you learn through it's a
Yeah.
learning part of the business where
Yeah, through
some,
experiences.
some people they're gonna use you for what you're useful, and after that they're gonna kick you aside, and that's it.
Yeah.
And they don't want to work with you.
Yeah, that's a
It
thing.
happens, but again, I'm not like mad or negative about it. It's like okay, now when like if it's once, whatever, fool me
Yeah.
once, whatever, shame on you.
yeah,
Fool me twice, shame on me. Yeah, that thing goes on. So like once I learn how certain people operate, I'm like okay, I'm never working with these people. I won't put them on blast, but
Oh,
I just know personally when people ask me like, "What do you think about these people?" I'm like, "Oh, well, don't work with them." That's all I can say. I mean, but I'm never gonna get to the point where like I hate this person, I hate this band publicly on my podcast or my
Yeah.
social media. I'm not gonna get to that point where
no, that's one thing I don't.
because
I-
that's when the drama starts happening.
Yeah, I
and
dislike drama.
It can really snowball.
Yeah,
So I don't hate drama. I enjoy watching it. I enjoy listening to it, but I don't want to get involved.
yeah.
I think it's
I like being on the
disingenuous to say.
sidelines of the drama.
Yeah. Like, I think it's like for me, like I think it's disingenuous to say that I don't like drama.
Yeah,
I enjoy. I mean, again, there's a reason why reality shows are popular why all this stuff exists. It's because people like drama. People like
Yeah.
novelas. This is all the drama.
The drama.
We enjoy it, but getting
Yeah.
involved, being part of it, sometimes no. Unless it's like very like clear and cut where
Like if you have to.
something's bad's going on, you have to get involved.
Yeah.
I will, but
No,
other
yeah,
than
yeah.
that, no.
But then that isn't drama anymore. That's just doing the right thing.
Yeah,
You know. Yeah. I don't like how you say, like, I don't like being in the drama.
yeah,
But if I have to stand up for something,
yeah,
and then I will.
yeah.
But it's never come to that for me.
No, for
You
me,
know?
sometimes it has happened just because of the platform I have,
Yeah.
and so sometimes people expect you to say stuff about certain stuff.
That's
It happens.
that's the one thing too, where people are like, you have to say something.
Yeah,
But
if
like,
you're not with
do
them,
I
you're
really
with-
have
yeah.
to? No. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
so you don't have to, but it's because I've seen that those arguments where sometimes if you don't say something, like some people believe, like if you don't say something, you're with the other side because you're not supporting this side. I've seen that
yeah.
arguments. Sometimes it does make sense. Sometimes not doing nothing, you don't have to do anything. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
not everything is the Charlie situation where you know up and down, right or no?
Yeah.
Where like you're in control of the lever. The train's going either to one person or to 5 people. You control
Yeah.
whether you choose where it goes to.
Yeah, that's the case in everything. Where like let's say like you have two friends, right?
Yeah,
And like somebody like they're mad at each other.
yeah,
And then you're like, why are you saying anything? And then you're like, why aren't you saying anything? Oh,
Yeah.
you're with him? Or you're with him? And you're like, I don't even want to be a part of this.
Yeah. That's another thing that happens in life. I mean, it gets nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened to me already. I mean, I don't have the same friend group I had in high school. Like sometimes, like even like throughout the group, like us hanging out, like some people would come in, some people would leave just because some people were just bringing in drama.
Yeah.
Sometimes people change,
Yeah.
and
That's life. you
yeah,
know?
that's life. And I mean, like once you hit your mid-20s, I mean, you're not gonna have the same friends you had in the past. You might have
No.
some of them,
Yeah.
but not all of them.
I only have one
Yeah,
that I sticked with.
that's why I tell like some of the younger guys that right now you can never imagine your life without the friends you have right now
Yeah.
because that's all you ever had.
Yeah.
But like down the line, sometimes fights may happen, and
Yeah. They get families, they get married,
yeah,
or they move somewhere for a job or something.
yeah. Or sometimes
know?
you guys get into fights, and that's how it has happened to me.
Yeah. Sometimes you disagree
Um,
on things and you're just like, we don't want to.
Yeah, because like I have had conflicts with some of my previous friends where, again, back to that nihilist things. Some of them believe that no matter what you do, it doesn't matter. Or sometimes if you're trying to, there's this thing called crabs in the bucket mentality where like when a person's succeeding,
Yeah.
they kind of don't want you to succeed because then it makes them feel inadequate. Or
Yeah. I've been a part of that.
Because for a while that happened to me where some people that were formerly my friends, they're like, oh, like you changed ever since the podcast, whatever. I'm like, no, like first of all, I'm not even famous or successful. Like
Not
I think
not
I-
yet.
I
Not
think I
yet.
only have like 100 and some subscribers. Like, let's be honest, that's not much.
Right now. Let's be positive. Not
No,
yet.
I am positive, but like I also try to stay humble about it. Where again, you can't be accusing me, like, because again, some people become famous and they get accused of like, oh, you
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah, you changed.
I'm not even popular or like famous or anything like that. So like,
Yeah, 5 followers. You
Yeah.
changed.
yeah, like wait until I become famous and then you
You-
start accusing me
you
of that.
changed, man.
But yeah, let me become popular first and make a name for myself. Then go for it. But right now, I'm not at that point.
Yeah,
And so like they became like super like it wasn't like outright hatred, but it was kind of like low key. Like sometimes they would make jabs about it. Like, oh,
you,
who are you interviewing now? Which bands are you working with now? And it's kind of like, okay, I get it's not something you like, but like I like this, I enjoy this.
Yeah,
Let me be.
and you know what it is? It's just like you're doing something
Yeah,
that either they want to do or something similar to that you're.
yeah,
And they're like, why is he able to do this
mhm,
and I can't?
yeah,
Right? And it's just all comes from jealousy, I think.
yeah.
Even
and that's why
though,
I don't like saying that too much, just because like it can make me seem like, oh, like maybe you're the asshole because you now you think you're better than them, but like no, like I don't. Like I still see myself as the same person as back then.
yeah,
Actually, I would probably say I'm probably a better person now because back then I was like I was a menace. Like sometimes I could be like I could be an asshole. Like if you
Yeah.
took me to that place where I had to be one.
I used to be like that too. I,
Yeah.
I used to be very aggressive, I guess.
Yeah.
I was very like in that asshole kind of realm. But I've kind of life has humbled me,
Mhm.
right? It's humbled me a couple of times,
Mhm.
right? To where I'm like, you know what? Why was I like that? What's
Mhm.
the point of all this? You know, and I started realizing that there's nothing better than helping people out and being nice.
Yeah.
You know, even though some people perceive it as ungenuine sometimes,
Yeah.
right? Because like you used to be like this, why are you like this now? And I'm like, man, I
That's another
just,
thing about just life in general, where certain people who are no longer in your life, they still have that representation of you from back then, but like as a person, you could have changed already.
yeah.
And so like they might still think like, oh, you're still that person, but you're not.
No, I've changed a lot.
Yeah. So
Honestly.
like even if like these people like did want to come back to my life, like for example, like friends that are no longer friends, if everything became like normal again and people changed, I mean, I wouldn't mind having them back in my life.
No,
But
I'm like that too.
But if like again, sometimes I butted heads with them just because we had different worldviews.
Yeah.
And so like I remember one time where I was like getting really pissed off for it because
Uh-huh.
it was the topic about health.
Uh-huh.
And we were talking about how, and I was talking about it. Well, it was about like diabetes, high blood pressure and stuff. Because once you get older, like that stuff starts affecting you.
Yeah.
And there was one of them was saying like, oh, like being fit or whatever, like it's a Western or a white person, like how did they say it? It was just like European beauty standards and a bunch of other stuff because the way how people view beauty differs from culture to culture, which
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. But I was talking about like weight and health because again,
Yeah.
I have always struggled with weight issues.
Me
Yeah,
too.
and again, our culture does not help because it was very common. Like, oh, like you ate a little bit. No, here, have some more. Have some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you get that from the tias and grandmas and all stuff.
I honestly like I used to be skinny,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But then I came to live over here, you know, in Edinburgh with the rest of my family, and I gained weight.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
And then I broke my knee and I gained weight, right?
So yeah, that stuff doesn't help.
Yeah,
And so
but I've been trying to like, you know, exercise again, lose some pounds, and I was much bigger,
yeah,
but I've lost some weight because
Mhm.
because of my knee,
yeah,
right? That's and I do understand some people are like, oh, like these are like you know, being fit is like something like that's like a like how you're saying like very like taboo or whatever right now.
yeah. And so like yeah, again, there was for a while there was a whole body positivity movement. I can understand. Like yes,
Yeah.
you should like not hate yourself because you're overweight or like think negatively of yourself. You should still love yourself, but also realize that there is inherent risks when it comes to that,
Yeah, that's
especially
what
as a Hispanic, because
Hispanics especially.
when it
Yes.
comes to us, we're very prone to diabetes, high blood pressure, heart issues, and a bunch of other stuff. And so that's what I was trying to say. And they're kind of like, no, like just because you're fat doesn't mean you're unhealthy. I'm like, have you seen people around here, like in the valley? Like, again, the valley is like it has the highest obesity rates.
I think
in
we're
in the U.S.
we're the number one, right?
not just in Texas, in the entire
Yeah,
U.S.
yeah, in the U.S. We're number
we're
one.
number one.
At least we're number one
We're
in
number
something.
one in something, yeah. And like it's actually awful because we're
Nah,
number
it's
one
bad.
in weight over like being overweight, and
Yeah.
also like in education, like we're kind of like the lowest. The
Mhm.
only thing where we can kind of gloat about a little bit is because there's an article that came out saying like the worst cities to be in if you're a college graduate. We weren't on that list. Luckily, we were like pretty in the middle, so we're okay.
No, the
the very
Valley's
last
great.
one, the very last city was Laredo, so
Laredo is
Yeah. it's like the number one number. No, it was the 100 spot of worst place to be if you're a college graduate. So we beat them in that, so we're good.
or
but, Back to the health wise,
yeah,
they were saying like, oh, like being fat doesn't mean you're unhealthy. I'm like, it does.
it does.
If you like, I mean, again, they have family members, so do I, who are diabetics.
Mhm.
Eventually, they lose limbs. They can lose their eyesight. There's various health issues that come with it. And so, like when that happened, I was kind of like, what's wrong with you guys? We also had
Yeah.
like political disagreements, which also like stemmed to it. I think it got to the point where I think what really killed the friendship was COVID because everybody had their viewpoints on what was going on.
Yeah.
One of them was working for the CDC. So whatever the government said, that's what he thought, and
Yeah.
that's what he worked with. And again, it's your job. You believe what the government wants because
Yeah.
that's you have
you have a bias because you work for the government.
Yeah. Obviously, they're supposed to look out for the citizens, which again,
Yeah.
I'm someone who's anti-authoritarian, so like I don't really trust government figure, just like authority figures, because
Yeah. I don't like the government that much.
when it comes like again, it's not that
Don't come after me.
it's just that when I was young, I dealt with stupid teachers where
Mhm.
I would correct them, and I don't mean just like in a gloating way. Like I remember one example was we had like a final exam in middle school, and this English teacher was
Yeah.
failing the entire class for this exam. We
Yeah.
all got 50s and 60s, and even the smart kids were like failing, and I'm like, and she like gave me like a 60, and I'm like, what questions did I get wrong? And she was using an answer key. Well, it turns out that answer key was the wrong one for the exam.
And she didn't want to
And-
admit it.
Yeah, well, she wasn't aware of it, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And so I corrected her by telling her, so like, look, this is a question.
Yeah.
This is what it says in this paragraph. This is correct.
Yeah.
When she said that she was wrong, she's like, oh my
I've-
God, I'm using the wrong answer key. And everybody suddenly started passing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. As a middle schooler, I started realizing, like, okay, adults can make stupid mistakes. It's not just us kids who are dumb. Like,
Yeah.
adults can be dumb.
When I was in elementary, I used to correct the teachers in elementary.
Yeah.
Cause like sometimes there would be like math problems and like they were like, no, that's wrong. I was like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, you're right. I was
And
like,
there was another specific event where in elementary where we had cubbies.
mhm. Oh,
And
I
some
remember
kid
cubbies.
hated me. I know he didn't like me. So he would like write my name as graffiti on the cubbies.
Uh-huh.
And the teacher came to us, she saw the name. She's like, why are you writing on school property? I'm like, that's
'Cause
not me. Like I didn't do that. I tried to explain that to her and she didn't believe me. And I told her, like, I don't know, it's weird, like as a kid, as an elementary, like the fact that I had this mentality already.
Yeah.
I told her, look at my paperwork. Look at how I write my J's. That person would write J's just like that. All my J's always had the top line.
Mhm.
And so when she saw that and she saw how the spelling was, it didn't match my writing. It matched some other kids and he got in trouble. But that's like, all of that's trying to making me realize, hey, authority figures can be wrong. They're not always right.
Yeah.
And so I became very distrusting. Again, the issues I had with some of my family members. I became very distrusting of authority figures, and I guess that naturally reached the government
Yeah,
where,
I'm not real big on authority.
yeah. And so when COVID was going around, like there was certain stuff that was like being said that like, oh, like if you get the vaccine, you won't get sick. That's what I was being told. And later on, like they started like backpedaling, saying like, you know what? No, if you get COVID and you have the vaccine, you won't get as sick. So they started like changing the goalposts.
that's bullshit. Because my and now we're gonna get political.
Yeah,
my dad he got 2 vaccines
yeah.
for the COVID because they made him right because
Mhm.
of his job, and we all got sick in 2021 right
hmm
for 2-3 weeks, bedridden, all of us.
Yeah.
And he got 2. I didn't get the vaccine,
Mhm.
and he was worse than me.
Yeah.
Right? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And so like I'm not anti-vaccine. It's just the fact that
No, me either.
um
I'm just anti that one.
yeah. And so it was the fact that I was telling him like the goalpost is being changed, and he's like, no, like whatever. And the thing is that vaccine wasn't a traditional vaccine. It was a newer technology. So like it didn't
Yeah.
go to like the regular testing stuff. And again, like if they would have just said like, hey, the vaccine's not gonna stop the spread, it's not gonna stop you from getting sick, but it'll reduce the chances of you being hospitalized.
Yeah.
They should have just gone that route.
Yeah, there should have been more forward with what,
Yeah,
with what,
and
what it really
and it did the
was.
same thing with the mask, where they're saying that you didn't need
Yeah.
masks in the beginning. But the
Yeah.
reason why they were saying that is because they needed enough masks for hospital workers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until afterwards they started saying like, you know what? No, masks they do work.
Yeah.
And kind of like, just be honest with people. Just
And then they don't work. And then 6 feet away, like if the virus knows distance or something.
yeah. And so like again, like stuff like that, like I would butt heads with them. And
Yeah.
again, after everything came out, it came out exactly how the alternative media was saying that it wasn't what the CDC was saying.
Yeah. I mean, if you really looked into it, Fauci was
Yeah.
one of the sponsors for the Wuhan
Yeah, like
labs
again,
in China,
yeah, he
where,
bypassed.
where it originated.
Yeah, because I know that there was like a whole thing that Obama had stopped funding for his stuff, like the I forgot what it's called, but basically they make viruses to be prepared
Yeah.
for the potential outbreak of a similar
Of-
type of virus.
Of a virus,
It
yeah,
makes
of a
sense.
pandemic.
But because you're creating viruses that don't exist, if one of them leaks, then it causes issues.
Yeah.
And so like that's why Obama had stopped funding for it too. So eventually Fauci moved all that funding to China, and
Yeah.
they were able to continue those testings there.
And the Chinese don't care.
Yeah, something happened, and again there was a lab leak, whatever.
Not like
But
in
the point
general,
is-
like
Stuff can go wrong. Again, it's kind of like the Jurassic Park where
yeah.
the guy says like you're
And
messing with nature.
you're basically playing God at that
yeah,
point.
yeah, where something can go wrong and it will go wrong.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
So like there was that debates, and it just kind of like that friction that we already had in our friendship. It kind of like made it worse. And so what I said was like, you know what? Once the COVID was gone and all that stuff,
Yeah.
let's just do like a big trip and go somewhere like just
Yeah, let's
let's
like
farewell,
reconnect.
because again, one of them was already gonna get married.
Yeah.
One of them, I don't know what they were going through. They're going through issues in their own life.
Mhm.
And I know one of them always wanted to go to like, I think, I'm not sure it was Norway or Sweden. They wanted to go somewhere over there for some reason. I don't know why. It's such a like, it's not the traditional. Let's go to
Sweden?
Japan, to Europe.
It's very nice. I want to play in Tokyo
Yeah.
because there's a big blues rock scene in Tokyo,
Mhm.
which is crazy, right?
Yeah. And so like the traditional thing, like, go somewhere in Europe, to go to France, whatever, Japan.
Yeah.
But he wanted to go to Sweden or some Nordic country. It's like, hey, let's plan for whatever. It was one of them took it the wrong way, and he got like really offended, saying like, "Oh, you're just trying to break up the friend group." And I'm like, no, like I wanted us to do something big because
Yeah.
I know our days as a friendship was like it was number. Like we're becoming adults, we're gonna go our own separate ways.
Yeah.
Some of them moved to like up north. Let's just do something while we have the time, man. Well, it
Yeah,
became a
let's do one big last thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It became a whole fight because of a misunderstanding. And it became like one side over here, one side over here.
That sucks, honestly.
It sucks, but I mean, it happened.
I mean, that could happen with my friends too, where we kind of started disagreeing on a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
But it just happens sometimes. But it's really sad to see.
yeah. And the thing is that, again, I don't have hatred towards them or anything like that, but like, I think the positive, again, the silver lining for me was that our friendship was like a lot of stuff we would do, like we would hang out, was like go play video games, go somewhere to eat.
Yeah.
In some ways, I think that was holding each of us back because you're not doing anything productive if you're just going out to eat, play
Yeah.
video games, watch movies. Like it's
Yeah.
fun, it's entertaining, but at the same time, like we're not striving towards something.
I see that all the time in high school. We would literally just go to each other's houses, play video games.
Yeah,
And every like Thursday and Friday we would go to Pizza Hut,
yeah,
right? And that was our routine, right? But then I started, picking up the guitar again, like getting back into music,
yeah,
and I would kind of distance myself from everybody because I was like, maybe I need to, do something.
yeah. And that's
Right.
what was happening to me. Where I think it was like when I was 25 when that happened 2 years
Mhm.
ago. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, hey, like we don't have a lot of time. Like we're almost reaching our 30s. We're halfway there.
Yeah,
If we're gonna do anything with our lives, like right now's the time. Like
nice
when
breeze.
you're young, that is the time where you can take as much risk as you can.
Yeah,
That applies to everything in life. Whether it comes to your hobbies, your career.
Yeah.
When it comes to like investing, like often you get told when you're young, you have a lot of time. Buy riskier investments. Once you get older, you become more conservative and start saying, "Hey, buy some more bonds, gold,
Yeah.
precious metal." So I'm like, "Hey, like we're in our mid-20s. Some of us are getting married. Some of us are moving to different places.
hmm
I cannot stay in this like friendship forever if we're stagnating as people.
yeah,
And sometimes people need to be like they need to leave each other. I mean, my parents
Yeah,
went through a
that's true.
divorce.
Mhm.
They were miserable together towards the end.
yeah,
Now that they're separate, like they're each living their own lives. They're much happier as people. They became better people. Sometimes you need to separate yourself from people that are holding you back.
yeah.
It sounds bad when you're talking about friends, but like sometimes you just have to.
No, because sometimes what we perceive as like, oh, this is my friendship, but in all reality is like, are we holding each other back?
Yeah,
You know, like we like with like in the sense of your parents,
Yeah.
right? Like their marriage might have started out really nice,
yeah,
right, beautiful and everything, but as time went on, maybe they weren't the thing they needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that happens. And um, thanks to COVID, I mean, I'm not mad about COVID because if it wasn't for COVID, I would have never got into the podcasting
I would have
because
never
it was,
started the banning if it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
for COVID. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like that. We're stuck in it for a year. So, I mean, people lost a lot of time.
Yeah.
People didn't get to have their proms and all stuff. But long term, I think I'm okay with it because it introduced me to the music scene.
Yeah.
I was on the internet and I saw some musicians getting interviewed. I'm like, we have music scene here. So I got excited about that. I started doing a podcast. Once I was with my friends, it kind of overtook what I was doing because before I wasn't doing much. And I think, like how you mentioned about jealousy, sometimes you want to see people succeed, but once they start
But
succeeding
not-
more than you,
But not more than themselves.
yeah, more than yourself, then it's kind of like, oh, shit. And again, it's a mentality. It's not everybody because
Yeah.
if you're a person, again, if someone's like, if your friend's succeeding, for example,
Yeah.
you can either get jealous or you can get inspired by saying, hey, we grew up in the same area.
Yeah.
We have the same access to resources as them. We could be doing something too.
Yeah.
So again, it's a mentality. It's a mentality
Yeah.
issue.
That's what I believe. Like, I don't like, when like somebody's more successful than me, it's like, no, good for them.
Yeah.
Like, I want my friends to be successful.
Yeah.
I want them to be successful.
And even
You
now,
know?
like, even though like I'm not friends with them anymore, like I don't wish the worst on them. Like I'm hoping, I
no.
hope they're happy because they were going through a lot of mental issues. Some of them
Yeah.
were diagnosed with bipolar disorder, depression.
Yeah.
Some of them were suicidal. Like I hope they're successful in whatever they're doing right now. Like I mean, I hope they are, but sometimes I'm just kind of like, hey, I wish they would have done the same for me. Like I wish they would have like supported me
Yeah.
because I'm never gonna tell my friends like, hey, support my podcast, share my
Aw.
stuff. I don't like pushing that on
I
people.
feel icky doing that.
Yeah, and I see some people do it. I'm kind of like, no, like this feels weird.
Yeah.
But at least so be somewhat supportive. Like, hey, you're doing a
Yeah.
good job. That's the minimum. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But like that never happened. So I'm kind of like, okay, they didn't wish that for me, but I still wish them, the best in life. And if we ever happen to meet each other, like I'd be more than happy to talk with them again.
Yeah.
And to me, some parts of me is saddened because one of them was trying to become a musician,
Uh-huh.
and he had a good voice. He did like a lot of acoustic covers, and
Mhm.
he was good. I was trying to help him out in the beginning before I became part of the music scene.
Yeah.
I was doing some graphic design for him. I was giving him ideas,
Yeah.
and I wanted to push him towards coffee shops because
Yeah.
a lot of acoustic music does really well in coffee shops.
Yeah.
But he never like really like pushed himself towards it.
Yeah.
Eventually, he moved to Austin, and again, I wanted him to succeed because like you're in Austin, that's like the live music
That's
capital.
like the place, right now.
That's the place to make it.
Other than Nashville, Austin's a place right
yeah,
now.
Austin. Again, it's not too far away from us.
Yeah.
There's a lot, and even more so now than back then. It's even crazier now.
Yeah. Right now, it's the place, honestly.
Yeah. And then I'm seeing that he's not like doing much over there. I'm just kind of like, what are you doing? Like I get mad at him not because
Because you want to see him succeed.
I want to see him succeed. Exactly. That's why I get mad. I'm like, you're in Austin. Like you should be succeeding.
Like
you
take
should
it,
be doing so much better than me.
Yeah.
I'm not musically gifted. I mean, I used to play keyboard a little bit, but like I'm not gifted enough to like continue being in the band. I probably could have if I would have continued like after high school, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But the point is, I'm not musically gifted. I'm not doing all that stuff. But I still found some success in the music scene here in the Valley, which is a lot tougher than Austin. I mean, here
Yeah.
you only have McAllen.
McAllen,
Some stuff goes on in Brownsville a little bit.
a little
but-
bit of Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the main hub is McAllen.
McAllen, yeah.
That's where it's at.
That's where it's at.
I have been able to book bands from California, from other parts of the Midwest. I have found some people in Houston already like know who I am before I talk to them.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
That's crazy.
There's labels who like
and
agencies and
that's
labels.
great, man.
Yeah. And I'm not saying this to glow, but like
No, man. Glow.
I had so much to like stack up against myself. But I still found success in the music business
Yeah.
here in the Valley.
No,
There's
sometimes.
no excuse for that person not to be doing well in Austin.
No,
That's
I
what gets
know.
me mad. And I know I could have helped them because right now I'm friends with a band called Principium. I'm
Uh-huh.
helping them. I met them when they were doing food truck gigs, like in West Laco.
Percipium, right?
Yeah.
I
They
was
would go-
supposed to open for them last year
Yeah.
in Houston, but I couldn't go because I
Oh,
didn't
damn.
have a band.
Yeah. And so like I helped them go from doing food truck gigs, which they were doing well.
Uh-huh.
and introduce them to the music scene because I was already getting into the music scene as well.
Yeah.
Now they're doing pretty well. You know, they went through a slight hiatus because of college.
Yeah.
But now they were doing. Yesterday they did a gig in Houston. Now
That-
they're one in
that's-
Austin.
That's
yeah.
the one I was supposed to play
Yeah.
at.
Now they're gonna do one Saturday here in Hidalgo,
Mhm.
and then one in Laredo on Sunday.
That's
So like
great.
I'm able to help them out, and I want to help out other bands.
Yeah.
Start touring because again, if you want to grow as a band, you can't just do valley gigs. You know,
No.
you grow up here, you do your gigs, and then
That's
start traveling around.
that's my thing with this band. Like I understand, like, yeah, we're in the valley,
Yeah.
and you know, we can start here, right? Like a few shows here and there. But I want to go and, you know, San Antonio,
Yeah.
Austin, Houston.
That should be the goal for that
Dallas.
should be the goal for any band. Like no matter if they're in a big city or a small city. I mean,
You
the
know?
valley's not big, but still, like even if you're in Houston, you
You know?
still want to travel to San Antonio,
Yeah.
Austin, to other cities. So I mean,
And also,
this is not me talking bad about the valley. It's just the fact that
No.
you have to go out there and
no.
Yeah.
You if you want to succeed, you have to leave sometimes.
yeah, you have to introduce yourself to new audiences.
You know, it's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like I'm saying, like hopefully everything goes good. You know, with the music and everything. I'm positive it is.
For sure. It's just a matter again, it's a matter of working.
You know, I'm really positive it's gonna get somewhere. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just do. Like I really want to do like a East Coast kind of tour, where like it's like Louisiana, Florida, New York, Atlanta, Nashville, and then come back, right? Like start here
Yeah.
and then like move around and come back down again.
Because even interesting enough, even genres have like their regions that do well.
Yeah,
So like if you're a Midwest emo, like you should do like certain areas, but like if you're let's say like surf rock, like it makes sense to go this way to the southwest.
yeah,
Certain genres do better in certain parts of the US. So I mean,
yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
And I see that rocking like what I'm doing, like 70s music kind of thing.
It's East Coast, yeah.
It more like leans towards that side,
Yeah.
right? And also Texas a lot. Texas. I'm grateful that I was born here and that like I have access, you know, to like a bunch of cities.
Hmm.
Even though they're a little bit far away, but they're not as far away as the other cities.
Yeah.
You know? Like there's still enough, like Southwest by Southwest. Like that one's a good
ACL
one.
and a bunch of other, yeah.
Like that's the one I really want to like, because like every year like they have people perform there, right? And they you can sign up, right, to perform there.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm gonna do with the band. I'm gonna sign them up to do South by Southwest.
Yeah, because you can either do like the official one and there's also a bunch of unofficial shows that go on. So I mean,
Yeah.
you can do it.
It's like we could like sign up for South by Southwest, and then like play like another show like a day after,
Yeah.
you know, in a nearby place. But maybe it's just my mentality of like I want to.
Hmm.
I guess I don't know.
No, it makes sense. And so I mean, that's what like gets me mad. Like I know, like I could have helped out that friend blossom into like into
Yeah.
a more popular artist, or at least like be more successful than they currently are.
Yeah. The one
So-
place I really want to play right like now
Hmm.
is Cine Rey. Like I really want to play there.
It costs a bit.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. No,
That's
yeah,
the
I think
one
that's where
place, yeah.
everybody wants to perform. Everybody wants to do a scene show,
Yeah.
and not just any kind of scene show. Because there are some scene shows that were just vendors doing markets in there, and they would like hire bands.
Yeah.
But people want to do like the actual show, you know, or opening for a big band, or maybe you're the big band,
Yeah.
and I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of am doing that, right? I'm doing the theater in West Local.
Hmm.
I'm doing the theater on 25th.
Yeah.
So I guess in some sense I am doing that, right?
Yeah, there's different routes to
I don't
it.
know.
There's no one way. There's so many routes you can do as a musician because you can just be doing the food truck gigs, bar gigs,
Yeah.
which is also they pay a lot more than original music gigs.
Yeah.
But again, it's the balance because I told people the food truck gigs, you're gonna get paid a lot. Like
Mhm.
I don't even want to see how much you get paid, but you get paid a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I
you're only doing
understand.
covers.
Yeah.
You're paying for
Yeah.
3 hours, maybe 3 hour gigs.
3-hour gigs a lot.
And again, 15-minute break. That's it.
And then get back on stage.
And you get back on stage.
Yeah. It's the
But you won't
The-
do
the
your
price is just
But you won't
justified.
be doing your original music. Now these
Yeah.
other gigs, they're tougher because like 707, the Gremlin Walrus,
yeah.
you're not gonna get paid as much, but you get the the satisfaction of playing your own music, like stuff you created.
Yeah.
People are actually going there for you. They're
Yeah.
not going there just because we
Yeah.
want to eat tacos and
I mean,
You
that
happen
too.
to be
but
there.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I lean more towards the side of I want to, like, this is an original band, right?
Yeah.
Like I want that to be the thing. You know, I never thought about doing covers, never thought about doing that.
Mhm.
I've always thought about, like, I want to make it, like, like
Yeah.
with the music, basically. Like I want the music and the band to make it,
Yeah.
And I guess that's just like people don't like hearing that, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this guy just wants to, get fame and all that stuff. But honestly, I don't really care too much about the fame. It's more just about, like, I have this thing that I want to succeed. I don't, you can succeed without the fame.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I mean, kind of, because
Kind of.
when you're in a band, it's a very face forward situation where, like, people are constantly seeing you. So
Yeah. I mean, I understand, like, if this is good, there's gonna be fame involved,
yeah.
right? But I'm not after that.
Yeah,
That's not my goal. My goal is the music, right? And changing my life and my family's life,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm using this as that kind of vehicle.
Yeah. No, people like what rappers say when they're trying to get out of the hood.
Yeah, kind of, I guess, is
Yeah.
the same thing I'm trying to do. Not
Yeah, 'cause
not
they-
get
they
out of
call-
the hood, but
I mean, that is the idea where, like, you get out of the situation you're in.
yeah.
You buy your mom a house, a car, or whatever. Like that situation. That's basically what it means.
And honestly, who doesn't want to do that?
yeah.
Right? Like, people say, like, oh no, you just want to, sell out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you want to have that opportunity, to do some good for your
Yeah.
family?
I think this discussion should be had, like, of what selling out is. Like, if you're making money just out of your creativity and your projects, it's also okay. But if that money's changing your creativity,
Yeah.
that's when I consider that's when
Or
you're really
like
selling out.
like the way you are, the way you act, the way you
Yeah, like if it goes against your ethics, your
perceive
morals,
yourself.
yeah, the way you present yourself, then yeah, that's selling out. But if people are paying for what you're already doing, then I don't consider that selling out.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make this thing happen. I believe in it,
hmm
and I'm not ashamed to ask for help. I ask for help all the time from everybody, from you. I asked for help for you before,
Yeah.
right? And I'm real grateful for that. You got me in contact with 707 and
Yeah.
some other people that are gonna help me out, and I'm gonna take the opportunity because those opportunities don't come around a lot.
Mhm.
People like you don't come around a lot. And some, like, we were telling me, like, your friend, like, you were gonna help him,
Yeah.
and you're helping him, but he doesn't want it.
Yeah.
Is very weird to me, right? Because I'm like,
It's because I think some people don't want. Some people don't, because again, some people don't want to be pushed towards, like, doing stuff,
yeah,
and some people they don't want to take. How would you say it? I guess they don't have that ambition or drive to be doing it. Like, they want it, but they don't want to put in the work.
yeah. They like the idea of it, but they don't.
The
like
reality that you have to put in so much work.
yeah, the work side of it. Like, they like the idea, but they don't like.
And again, it's
the-
understandable. I mean,
Yeah,
if you were to tell, if these popular bands were to tell you, like, oh, like, yes, you're in a famous band, but this is a downside. You're gonna lose all your friends. Your
your
only friends are
friends.
gonna be your bandmates.
that's the first thing. Your friends.
Yeah.
Next
you're not
thing
gonna have
is
that many
your
friends. You're only gonna have your bandmates.
yeah,
Second, you might lose your wife or your family because
your family.
you're constantly touring. And I talked to a band that's, like, pretty popular. I'm not gonna say the names, but
Mhm.
I was talking with the lead singer, and he said, like, yeah, like, it's like my band's being super successful right now. Like, they're touring the world,
Yeah,
but
That's
because
great.
they're touring constantly, the wife felt, like, unwanted
They're-
or, like, unneeded or, like,
yeah. Relationships tend to strain.
yeah. So his relationship with his wife is strained, and they're in the process of getting divorced, and it becomes a whole mess. But again, that's the price you're paying for
Yeah.
what you're doing. Everything
That's-
comes with a cost.
Yeah, that's why right now, like, even my mom's like, why don't you why don't you get a girlfriend, or why don't you look for a girlfriend?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's because you don't understand what I'm gonna have to do
Yeah.
to get where I need to get to.
Mhm.
Like, if I get a girlfriend right now, right, like, I'm gonna, like, just, like, not pay attention at all.
Yeah.
Right, like, that's why sometimes I'm like, like, it's better for right now to be single, to be alone a little bit.
Yeah.
And then later on I'll find somebody who understands what I'm doing, right? So that way there's that understanding, where things don't get messed up.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it too, where like people like they
You see it with different jobs. Like I see it,
Yeah.
like I seen constant memes about people who join the military or guys they get into
yeah
they go out and their wives start cheating or girlfriend starts cheating and then
Yeah.
they come back, they already have a kid and you're kinda like, what happened? What about everything that we had?
it's kind of like that movie with Tobey Maguire. He's like, you didn't know what I had to do to get him come back to you.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like it's those things are crazy.
Yeah. And it's a reality that does happen.
Yeah.
So like you have to be very careful what you're doing. Like you need
That's-
people who understand what they're getting themselves into. And
Yeah.
again, you can't really expect that for like for example, that band, like maybe before he wasn't super popular as he is now. If
Yeah.
you're in a relationship with a musician and they happen to pop off,
Yeah.
no one's ready for that. Like you as a singer, you as a band, you're not ready for being like super famous,
No, you're not.
touring around the world, and your partners is not going to be ready for the reality of, hey,
For that
They
attention.
made it. now they're
Yeah.
going to get a lot of attention, and not only from, again, if they happen to be the jealous type,
Yeah.
they're going to be getting attention from other people too. So
Exactly. That's the thing. Like they at the beginning they're like, oh yeah, great.
yeah,
And then a few months in, they're like, wait, what's going on?
yeah,
A year in, right? They're like, you don't love me no more. And that happens.
yeah,
Right? And the guy's like, what do you mean? Like, and then they're like, you left me behind, and that's how they feel. They feel left behind.
hmm
And I don't want to do that to somebody.
yeah. That's why like I don't get mad like when people like were taking like, for example, Taylor Swift or like other people like for like constantly being in different relationships. Like I kind of get it because
Yeah.
once you're like uber famous, like you cannot be with people who don't understand your situations. Like naturally, you're gonna fall in line with other celebrities,
You're
people who
gonna
like
have
they
to.
understand what you're going through, and it just happened. Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna have to. It's just what it is.
yeah,
There's no preparing somebody for that. Like there's like even with normal people, even if like somebody gets like a better job than like we had previously, right? And they
Yeah.
put more attention toward their career, right? And their marriage,
they feel like they're
relationship
being left out.
strains.
Yeah,
And but I think it's just I think it just happens, right?
yeah, and I'm pretty sure there probably is bias. 'Cause, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some relationships that are successful,
Yeah.
but they have to be understanding of your situation or maybe part of your industry to be like
Yeah.
on board with you. 'Cause I know
Like,
some people
yeah.
who they're like famous people, but like their wives are like your manager. Like for example,
Yeah.
Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne, or
Yeah.
I know there's a comedian who I like to. His wife was also his manager, so they're in it together. So
Yeah. It's like it's like a thing. Like it's their business.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So like they're always together, so
Yeah.
they don't have that
that issue of
Rift.
being strained. Yeah,
all that stuff happening to them, because they're always together.
yeah,
So like whatever happens to them happens to you. So like so you're always constantly in the
yeah,
loop.
yeah. You could get into the whole it's us versus the world.
Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah, that's so true. But yeah, maybe that's why I kind of strain away from relationships right now. I just want to focus on this, and I'm trying to make this thing like a reality, I guess, is the best way to put it.
And I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. Just give it some time.
Yeah. I don't like a lot of people think like, cause I say like, oh, we're gonna make it. Like like they think I'm like this, like what's the word? Super self-centered or like,
Yeah,
or narcissistic or whatever. Right. But like, I just believe in it. Right. Like if I didn't believe this was going to work, I wouldn't have even tried.
yeah. And
You
even
know?
though we're just making it, like it could mean so many different things. Because let's say you guys do like a couple of gigs around the U.S. The
Yeah.
band breaks up. The fact is, like you were still able to get a position where you had a band that was successful enough to like go around, and then whatever happens afterwards happens.
Yeah.
But like you still had that opportunity. Not
Yeah.
everybody gets that option. I mean, I had people when I worked at Home Depot that were like much older people that they worked their entire lives at Home Depot. They gave their lives to that company. Now they have hip replacements, shoulder replacements, all this other stuff, and they wish they could have done other stuff, but
Other
because
stuff. Yeah.
they gave up, so like not gave up, but like they had other responsibilities in life, whether it be a
Yeah.
family.
You have other responsibilities sometimes.
Yeah, like they don't get the opportunity to explore what they wanted to do, man.
Yeah.
That's just
And
life.
I'm thankful right now. I don't have that much responsibilities at all.
Yeah.
It's like I have the opportunity to focus on this and go straight forward, you know? Like
Yeah.
there's nothing holding me back, basically.
Mhm.
There's all to gain for me. So that's why I'm always saying like we're gonna make it. You know,
Yeah.
this is gonna happen. Why? Because I believe in it and I see things happening that weren't happening before that are happening now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just people are like, oh no, it's just luck and this and that. I was like, I don't think it's that. I think I'm
It's-
just working hard and you know things are happening.
I think
That's
it's
just it.
both. I think I forget where I saw where it said opportunity is luck and hard work together.
Yeah,
Like
basically.
because sometimes you kind of do need luck, but like
yeah.
it is that you need that constant hard work and a little bit of luck put in there once in a while, and that creates
Yeah.
the opportunities.
Yeah, it's true. But like when you give an opportunity, what are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, that's the
Right.
part. Yeah.
That's the work part. Like how are you gonna maintain it? Right? Like
Yeah.
how are you gonna do it? How are you gonna do this and that? Because luck is like you get lucky, right? Like anybody can get lucky.
Yeah.
But to keep going from there, that's the thing, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know how to do. And I've seen it time and time with like bands down here and like other people from other places, like they do get to that point, but then they don't go more. Which sometimes I don't understand, but
It just
maybe
happens.
I think it just happens or something. I don't know.
It's because sometimes people just don't have the access or knowledge. Because again, if this is your first time being in the band or second time in the band,
Yeah.
you don't know how to reach that next level. So people just don't know like what is next.
Yeah. I think also if I'm real grateful that I have I don't know. I don't know if you've ever like had AP classes in high school.
I was doing enrollment.
Do enrollment. Okay. Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Not really. I actually get college credit.
Yeah, well, okay.
No, just kidding. It's because we would have some people who were in AP and like they were like
Yeah.
they would learn about it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're advanced placement, and then
Yeah.
some of us were doing enrollment, which is college credit. Like you're actually
Yeah, you're actually getting
actually getting
doing,
something kind of
you know, getting
or-
something.
But no, yeah, I get you.
No, like that I guess the discipline of it
No, yeah, oh, yeah.
prepared me to where like I can make this thing a reality, right? Because like, yes, I make music and I you know like write everything and I record everything, all this stuff. But at the same time, I do all the graphic design for the band.
Yeah,
I do all the kind of like marketing too, right? I do all like try to get the I'm basically like the graphic designer, the songwriter, the singer, the guitarist, marketer. I'm not a promoter yet, but it's looking like it's gonna be like that.
yeah,
Right. And like I do all the graphic design for the band. Right. And I don't know, maybe because I'm really art inclined, I guess.
yeah.
I'm really good with the graphic designing. So that helps us out a lot too. Cause like nowadays, like before they hear you, they see you.
Yeah,
Right. So like they see like a poster of you or like a post of you and they're like, oh, that looks cool.
yeah,
What are those guys about? So that's why like I try very hard to make everything really professional, I guess is the word.
no, yeah,
You know? Because I see a lot of bands who are really good, but they lack that that marketing side, I guess.
no, yeah. It happens. And again, it's a lack of access or having the skills to do it.
Yeah.
Happens.
And like I said, I'm grateful that I have that skill set where I could do both.
Yeah, because I know people say like don't judge a book by its cover, but like whenever people are looking at band pages or album art, like they're gonna judge you based on that.
That's how it is. And the sooner you realize that, the better. Because then you understand like what you need to do to get to that level that you want to get to.
Yeah,
Right? So it's not like some mystery to you. Like, how do they do it? How do they do it? No, they just have good marketing. They know what to do. That's just basically it.
yeah,
You know, it's not something of mystery. You know, a lot of people don't they think it's like, oh, they just got lucky or this and that. Like, no, like you think this person was all this time just messing around. Like they were orchestrating this whole thing you see right now.
yeah.
Like they weren't just like, oh, you know,
They just happen to make it. Yeah,
no. There's like, you know, nothing's a coincidence, I think.
but again, it's because people don't see the hard work that bands go through. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
The only time a regular person sees a band is just at shows. So
Yeah.
by that point, you're already made yourself your bandmates. You already made your graphics, your
Yeah.
band name. So like they only see the end results.
And your image too. I see a lot of bands on here who don't have that. They don't have like a stable image,
Oh.
right? Like they're always changing like the way they dress, the way they look, the way everything. And that plays a big part in the way you perceive too nowadays. Like
Yeah.
the image, like what image you're trying to give off, right? And I was talking to the guys about that. Well, they were talking to me about that. They're like, so what are we gonna like? What is our image gonna be?
Yeah, your aesthetic.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what's our aesthetic, right? And I was like, what do you mean? Like we're doing 70s music, so I guess like just like dress kind of 70s, I guess,
Yeah.
right? And they kind of, like opened me up to like thinking of like, oh, now I have to think about aesthetic too,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, okay, I could do it. It's just another form of marketing, I guess.
No, yeah. Your image again. All of this is really important. I mean, not only is it grabbing your attention, like again, it's an attention-based economy, but also just how are you getting that attention? And you need a good, clean look to
Yeah,
gather that.
yeah, that's the thing too. But I mean, as long as you understand that, I think everybody has a chance.
Yeah.
As long as you understand that these things are factors in your success, then you can,
Yeah.
if like this is my philosophy. If that person made it, why can't I? They're human. I'm human.
Yeah.
What's the difference? There's no difference. We both bleed the same blood.
Yeah. Agreed.
And a lot of people, they try to say, it's like, no, but they this and they that. And it's like,
Yeah.
you don't know, man. Like they probably started the same way you did, or even worse.
That's true.
And they still got up there. Why? They just kept their heads up and they said, let's keep going.
Yeah.
I think that's all it is.
I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, just hard work and keep going, keep working in what you believe in. And I think we'll leave it there because it's already 9.
It's late, yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think it's a good note to leave it on, that people should just work towards what they strive towards doing, or
Yeah.
whatever they believe in. Like, just do it.
Anything. That's my advice to anybody. Is just, if you have a business, you have a dream, you have something,
Yeah.
just go for it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna succeed.
No, the worst thing is failing, being in debt,
I mean that too.
credit card debt with balance equipment. So I mean, it can happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You get sued.
Yeah, you get sued.
But but overall, like, yeah.
I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? You're gonna stay where you started, or either you're gonna succeed.
True.
Might as well try.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with trying.
And so also, where can people find you? Like you and your band. Like, where can they find you on social media?
Social media. On Instagram, you can find me as Angel Green, 1976 or something like that. I'll send you like a link so you could put it up here. And Red River Valley Official. That's our other Instagram. And we're gonna play a show August 25th at the Westaco Tower Theater. It's an old water tower that became a tower that became a theater. So we're gonna play there the 25th, and
Yeah, that gig at 707.
at 707 the week after that one.
Okay.
We're gonna play there also.
That's what, August what?
August 28th, I believe. 28th. And then we're gonna play hopefully in San Antonio, either late October or early November.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna be playing there. Yeah.
Very well. I wish you guys the best of luck on that.
Thank you.
Hopefully I get to see these gigs, because this podcast has been like, it's taken like months for it to happen. So
Yes, it has. It's crazy how much it took to
yeah,
get
people
here.
getting sick. Like even now, like I still have an ear infection that I'm dealing with, but compared to what I was dealing with COVID earlier, so I mean, it's not as bad. So
Yeah, I understand. I've been sick all last week.
everybody, yeah,
It's crazy. It took a while for us to get here, but we got here.
happened.
We got it done,
yeah.
and it's
It's nighttime
pretty
already.
late.
All right, guys. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.